I don't know why I'm gnawing into this when I have a very good pair of scissors right here in my desk. Now, that makes sense, right? Snapping into a Slim Jim. There we go. I'm actually feeling nice and relaxed. I took a hot shower just before this live stream, and I was sitting with my good friend and talking with my neighbors and stuff like that today, and oh my Lord, what a day today was. I came home and I bought some stuff from Walmart. I had me one of those cherry tomato broccoli and baby carrot trays. And then I fell right asleep. I went right to bed today. And I woke up maybe about a good hour and a half ago. So I was gonna go take a walk to Walmart and go get some more stuff, but I'm like, I'm just gonna take it easy tonight. And I'm starting a little early because I might call it a night early. I'm pretty burnt out from today, to be honest with you. Actually, really burnt out. I didn't think I was going to be this burnt out. I mean, it's not like I did anything. Are you blocked? Oh shit, this is a name I haven't seen in a long time. No, you're not blocked. I can read you loud and clear. Holy shit, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. What's going on, my man? Wow, long time no see. As you can tell, I've become my own brand, doing my own thing. Thank you very much, much appreciated. If you, ladies and gentlemen, are new to the channel, do me a huge solid. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my eBay store. Check out my eBay store. The link is in the description box below. And if you want to make a small one-time donation, click on my coffee link. But thank you, everybody who's here. Yeah, YouTube has been a little funny lately. I mean, I do have some words. I do have some words and terms that I have blocked on the channel because the usual idiots have been coming over here doing stupid shit. I actually had multiple videos of theirs taken down here from YouTube because of their bullshit. Not to pull a Jeremy Hambley or anything, but when you bring my dead father and my dead grandfather into things, I'm not having it. So, but I don't want to talk about anything negative. So the spam filter is or at least I have the spam filter on. So if certain words don't pop up or your comments don't pop up, that's a spam filter doing its job. Unfortunately, I've had to ban a lot of words and bad language. Yeah, I mean, I wore it today. Listen, I paid all this money for this thing. I'm not just going to shelve it. I really didn't feel like sending it back or any of that nonsense. I mean, here again, you know, I turn around like that, you can see, you know, it's favoring my right shoulder. It's just ridiculous and stupid. And what scares me is that I have the, yeah, I know. No, I appreciate, you know, all of that stuff. It's just fucking awful, man. Like, you know, you pay so much money for this stuff. You know, that's why with a lot of things these days, man, it's like everything's just completely upside down and backwards. It's like everything I've been saying over the years on YouTube, you know. everything these days is a freaking scam, and it's no surprise. I mean, now with this channel, you know, I talk more about hobby stuff than anything. Fanatics, Tops, Nike, you know, with the exception of like Nike Air Jordans, like the QC issues and the scams that go on, and you know, poor New York Western, I think, yeah, New York Western Cards actually did a YouTube short where he got fucked. He did a case break on his channel recently, and every single insert that he pulled out of this particular case break were completely ruined. Every one of them. I really just don't feel like going through the whole process of trying to get a discount, because the jersey already, just a quick recap on these Vapor Fuse Elites. They typically go with tax and shipping. They're like $485. I don't have the box and the tag here, but the jersey was priced at $315 plus tax and shipping, so it came out to like $330, $340, something like that. But you would expect the quality to be just a little bit better. I mean, the front don't look too bad, even though the NFL crest here is like a little wonky. That number 6 on the back is just inexcusable. I mean, I'm going to wear it anyway because I paid for it. It is what it is. So, but I'm afraid of what the home jersey is going to look like when it shows up. I actually ordered it for one size smaller than this one. This is a 48 XL. So the one that's coming should be a 44 large. So it should fit me a little bit more form-fitting. But not only do I have this in my possession, I just got the email before I did this live stream. Transformers Power Glide is going to be shipped in the next couple days. I just posted it over at my community page. I ordered all new USB cables for my computer and for my phone, because these things are starting to get antiquated. I mean, when Jackson Dart signed with the Giants, his jersey completely sold out across the board in his first season. That's how much faith they have in him versus Daniel Jones. So, cheers. You know, I sold off. Oh, fuck this thing. I sold off all of my Daniel Jones jerseys. And when I went to try to pull the trigger the first time to get the New York Giants home jersey with Dart, they sold out. And this was just a couple of weeks ago when I had the disposable income. And then they released it again. So I'm like, fuck that, I'm buying it. But I got a feeling they're not paying attention to their quality control. I'm really hoping that this home jersey doesn't end up like this one. But, you know, we just got to wait to see what happens with Cam Scatterboo. I really haven't been keeping up with Giants news because, you know, we're in soccer season right now. My boys, Bayern Munich, have done very, very good against Real Madrid. And everybody's still losing their fucking shit over Real Madrid. All right? They're not fucking gods. They're not superheroes, right? They're just a soccer team with men. You know what I mean? Do I own any Malik Neighbors jerseys? I do not. You know, I should do, you know, since you're on the channel here, it's been a long time, my friend. You know what I'll do? I'll bring out my Giants jerseys and show them off, because I do that sometimes for my viewers. I have a lot of sports fans on here. So, 1 second. I'll show you my Giants collection. Now, it's not as many as I once had. I've had it trimmed down because, you know, foolish me, like I typically would. Sometimes I go a little too far, overloading my collection, so I sold off jerseys. So, the first one here is the Eli Manning Color Rush. And I was able to source out the Captain C patch and the Walter Payton Man of the Match patch, or Man of the Year patch, I should say. So this is what if you watched my video talking about this jersey here, This is what the Vapor Fuse Limited would look like. You see, it's got those bands in there. If these jerseys, if you look on eBay and you're looking for a Jackson Dart jersey, and you don't see that behind the crest, most likely it's fake. Stay away from it. It's probably counterfeit. And not only that, the New York on the front on all New York Giants jerseys, with the exception of this one, it's really nice and sharp right here. So, but that's a dead giveaway. If you see this triangle here on any of the Vapor Fuse Limited jerseys, which is like the mid-tier jersey, don't buy it. It's probably fake. Unless you don't care about that sort of thing. I prefer to have genuine merchandise. There's only a very few cases where I bought, like, knockoff stuff, and I'm not endorsing or supporting that. But there are times, you got to pull the trigger on that kind of stuff, especially if you're going to bars or you're going to an actual game where people are throwing food and beer around and stuff like that. You don't want to ruin your authentic jerseys. So, but again, I'm not promoting it. I'm not encouraging it. Kind of have to say that for YouTube reasons, but that's what the triangle should look like. It's got these bands behind the crest. So that's my Manning Color Rush jersey. They no longer sell Color Rush jerseys. I think they discontinued that a couple years ago. And they're very hard to find. I think there is one Eli Manning for sale right now on eBay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like to custom mod my own jerseys. I show off jerseys in my live streams all the time. I mean, it's not like the Manosphere content and the less lethal stuff. This is, I try to keep it within the hobby spaces and sports talk and stuff like that. Sometimes it goes off the rails. I won't deny it, but this is an authentic Phil Simms Mitchell and Ness reissue jersey. And there are a couple versions of this jersey. The tag is what you have to look out for. Not just the inside tags. This is pure white, and it's got that red label. I really should try to find a size 44 and then sell off this guy. But, I mean, in the wintertime, I tend to wear Under Armours under these anyway, so it's kind of good to have them a little big anyway. But that's how much weight I lost. And these jerseys do tend to run a little big. But we got the Spider 43 on the shoulder right there. And what's good about this jersey, it's very close to what they wore back in the day, because these are heat transferred rubber numbers on there. So, and I don't wear this too much, to be honest with you. We got the Sammy Baugh jock tag right there. And that's another dead giveaway. You got to look out for the Sammy Baugh jock tags on these football jerseys, because some of them look awful. Now, here's the difference between, where's the Bavaro jersey I got? So this is my Mark Bavaro jersey, Super Bowl jersey. And even though it's an authentic Mitchell and Ness, the manufacturing plant where this was made is different. Some of them were made in China. Some were made in the United States. Some were made in Vietnam. So, you got to look out for that sort of thing. But the dead giveaway with fakes are the tags. They should be pure white. If they're tinted red in any way, and if they run in sizes 42, 46, 50, and 54, they're fake. They don't sell those size jerseys. I lost weight. Yeah, man. Over the years, I'm down to approximately anywhere between, let's say, like 190 to about 195-ish. So, like, unfortunately, I've had issues with my blood sugar over the past year or so. I take a lot of proteins now and all that kind of stuff. I cut out all the carbs and all the junk. I try to eat straight up protein or anything that's high in protein. I don't eat garbage. Last night I cheated. I ordered out for DoorDash and got myself some bacon cheeseburgers from Burger King. I'm entitled to that, but my diet's completely changed. I eat a lot healthier. I eat a lot of turkey. I eat a lot of tuna fish. I try to eat like turkey hot dogs and turkey sandwiches, whole wheat bread, all that kind of stuff. I take two big bins of supplements that I rotate between days because I don't want to put my body on overload. Yeah, it's been a lot of health changes with me. You got quite the eBay business. Yeah, like I said, a lot has changed. When my father died, or at least a little bit before my father died last year, If you remember, I used to talk about my participation at the World Trade Center. I went through years and years and years of fighting these people in court, and they finally settled with me. Two out of the three cases. The third one I failed, unfortunately. But I paid off all my debts, all my bills, did what I can. I bought all new furniture, all that good stuff. I bought myself all new clothes because I was starting to lose the weight back then. So except for new jerseys like this, there's very little I need at this point, and I'm very blessed for that. Thank God. And then the rest of the money, I sent money to my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, and sent them money for their kids and all that kind of thing. And the rest of it I poured into my eBay business here right at home, which is, really what's been sustaining me all this time. When I started this channel, it was nothing but baseball cards for a while. And then it transitioned over to talking about Star Trek stuff and baseball jerseys, football jerseys, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's a whole different ball game these days. Let some of these manosphere assholes talk about what it's like to really take your life back instead of sitting in front of a camera getting drunk. Are you in the same apartment? No, this is the complex that I lived in when I first left New York to move here to North Carolina. There were so many bad things that were happening up there. People were getting shot. My car was vandalized multiple times because of my Trump stickers. I was on the news 3 times up there because of it. Right after I left, people were breaking into the pool, and then, of course, like everybody else would, because I stood up for myself, a buddy of mine who was at the World Trade Center was visiting here. They accused me of being a racist because I chased all of them out of the pool, and, it was time to go anyway because North Charlotte, if anybody knows North Charlotte, it's a fucking war zone. It's like the Brooklyn and the Bronx of North Carolina, unfortunately. So I moved right back to this property here, and I've never been happier. It's had its issues, unfortunately, but things have, calmed down quite a bit. Unfortunately, I was cheated on recently, if you watch the channel, with this woman who's basically sleeping with a walking zucchini head, but after that, I got my eBay business, I got my side hustle, on top of my regular income. I'm in my zone. I got, a lot of the bad apples now are finally leaving this place, which is good. And they've been really cracking down. We got private security now. We have an in-house police officer here now. A lot of changes have happened here in the past couple months. And I, for one, am in complete support of whatever they do to keep this place safe. So, with all that being said, I'm right back to the same property where I was years ago. So, and I couldn't be happier. I've had my issues. Unfortunately, I stopped a knife-wielding asshole who's one of these former homeless people that Mecklenburg County pays most of his fucking rent for. Of course, communism and socialism and everything else for people that love to smoke weed and drink and get drunk instead of self-improvement and all that kind of shit. Pulled out a kitchen knife on one of my neighbors downstairs, and I grabbed one of my less lethal weapons and tried to stop him from making a big mistake, and then he whipped it at me, and I brought the thing back upstairs, threw it on my couch, went down, tackled him to the ground, took the knife, came up here, locked myself in, called the cops, and they wanted to evict me because I had a less lethal. You know what I mean? It didn't make any sense, and it became like this whole big legal thing, but everything's settled and fine and dandy. I have a good relationship with them. Actually, it's been a lot better having a relationship with the higher ups here than it ever has before, which is great. Anything I see from my vantage point, because I'm up on the second floor, I can look down and see just about everything and everyone on this side of the property. So if I see anything, I take pictures, I take videos, and I march my ass right to the office and I say, it's like the other day, somebody took a shopping cart from Walmart here and threw it down into the creek right in front of my apartment. I went down there and fished it out and let them know they're bringing shopping carts onto the property again. So, but I couldn't be happier living here. 2 of my buddies moved out of here, because they got their lives to live. One moved in with his girlfriend, the other one bought a house. My other former friend I don't speak to anymore. He's been trying to contact me. I don't even want to talk about it again. I don't want to get into negativity in this live stream. But my former friend that I used to hang out with, he did me dirty. And lately he's been he called me last night and left me a message on my phone. I listened to it for a little bit and he sounded pissed drunk. I'm done with fucking certain things and certain people, especially when it comes to my business and with some of the bullshit that I saw recently on the internet with the same fucking 3 or 4 jackasses. I had multiple posts and multiple videos of theirs taken down about me. And that will continue to escalate should they continue to attack me the way they have. I had enough. I finally put my foot down with a lot of shit. I finally had enough of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's much better. But of course, you're always going to have that 1 or 2 assholes that comes out of the woodwork, like what happened here, and, the girl I was dating last year, she had me arrested for no reason. She called the police on me 4 times. And, of course, she was trying to trump up the charges and making all sorts of exaggerated claims, and none of those things were true. Nothing happened. And of course, this was when my father died last year, so all the charges were dropped. I had the acquittal letter, which I've shown on camera multiple times. I'm not going to do that again. But, like what happened here on the property years ago, I got into a scuffle with a bunch of drunken idiots. There were 3 of them against me. Of course, the charges were dropped, but people chose to put my mugshots out there, and they haven't recanted their statements, and they still go with the same narrative. I was acquitted of all that yet again. And this is the story of my life. I'm used to it. Every time you go through things like this, your skin gets thicker and thicker and thicker because, when people are out to get you, and this is not paranoia, you have to sometimes just stand your ground and you got to fight back, but this year, except with the exception of, this girl cheating on me, which I've talked about here on the channel, everything else seems to be shipshape. My business is doing good. I sold a Riley Green black border autograph and a Toilet Cream Gold out of 50 Will Clark from 2023. And I did sell one more. Oh, it was I might as well pull the card. I just remembered now what it is. A Ronald Acuna Jr. Now that I remembered, pull the card, so I'll prep that tomorrow. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm done for the day. Oh, there's the magical sound I'm looking for. Let's see if this is a good one, folks. Hey, all right. 2024 Topps Update Series, Black Gold, Jason Dominguez. I just listed that not too long ago. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. If you're the person who bought that Jason Dominguez just now and you're watching this live stream, thank you very much for your continued trust in me. There it is right there. I just pulled the card. Thank you. God bless you for that. Yeah, it's been an experience, man. That's why I want to see these manosphere jackasses. Again, I'm not doing this to start beef with anybody. This is what the manosphere was supposed to be about. Men who've gone through all sorts of bullshit and all sorts of bad stuff. But most of it's nothing but talking shit, starting online fights, drama nonsense, what I call vulture culture. Guys smoking dope and drinking beer and drinking booze, and I used to do that. Sometimes I might have a beer on camera. I might have one tonight. Listen, it's my 49th birthday. If I feel like having a beer, I will. But for right now, not sponsored. Sugar-free Red Bulls, like always. But, this is what the manosphere was supposed to be about. Self-improvement. And now I'm the bad guy? You know what I mean? Give me a break. Sangita, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't finish showing off my Giants jerseys. All right, so that's the Phil Simms, Mitchell, and Ness. Right. The next one, that's the Mark Bavaro. Now, it's got a different cut to it. I'm not interested in infighting. Yeah, it's stupid. It's bullshit. It's I still watch a lot of Manosphere. Like, I watch Alpha Central and Sigma Male and all those other pro-men channels where you see women cheating and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm done with all that stuff. I'd rather talk about things like this because this is what makes me happy. I like talking about my hobbies, my sports stuff, all that kind of thing. I'm just in my zone. Like, I'm a whole different guy, than I was back then. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a Mark Bavaro jersey. This one was made in China. It was made in China. You sit down. You're fake news. So it's got a bit of a different cut to it and a different texture to This jersey compared to the Phil Simms from the same era, it just depends on where they're manufactured. This one was made in China, and this one was made in China, but different manufacturing plants. And there he is, the big man himself, when he had his jaw wired shut, and he was still playing, the big guy, the Sylvester Stallone of the New York Giants, as they called him. So this one is I can't remember what brand this is because it's missing the tag. It is an officially licensed Jeff Hostetler jersey. It's not Mitchell and Ness. But I bought this one and it was in bad shape, and I restored it as best I could. I ended up replacing the patch that was originally on here because it was peeling off. And I had this one professionally stitched on by a tailor here in Charlotte. And there it is, the Hoff himself, the Hostetler. And they're very hard to find it with these fonts like this. You know, you see a lot of Champion and Russell jerseys out there from back in the days, but you don't see it with his name like that. So very happy to have that. Here's my Mitchell and Ness Super Bowl 42 Manning jersey. I've gone through probably 8 different Eli Manning jerseys from Super Bowl 42. But when I saw this, I was like, I had to have it. And I ended up selling off the one that I owned on eBay just to get this. I mean, it's got the proper template on there. It's got the proper cut. Because the Super Bowl 42 jersey had this rounded or oval shaped template on the back. So this is proper for the field. The only thing is it doesn't have the Reebok symbols on here like the jerseys did when they used that in Super Bowl 42. But I can always get those on eBay. I never did because it's a Mitchell and Ness jersey. So does it really matter? It's still a Manning jersey, but then we have an actual Reebok jersey. This is from Super Bowl 46, and I trimmed this guy out myself. Now, this one is big. This is when, you know, I was a big, fat, chubby chum right there. So if I can find another one of these in a size 48 or a 44, I would. But you can see the cut on here is different. This is more accurate for Super Bowl 46, whereas the Super Bowl 42, it had like seams going across the chest, whereas this one is like that. I guess it's to make it a little bit more, I want to say, loose. And this also has the proper template on the back. It's got the oval template with the tighter letters on the back. So, and this one's from the NFL shop. And last but not least, my Eli Manning Vapor Fuse Elite. Now again, you could see right through the triangle right there, and you see those bands that are in there. If you don't see those bands behind the crest, it's most likely fake. But again, I was able to source out an authentic Captain C patch for this jersey, and I hand stitched the Walter Payton patch. This one is different than the other one that I got there on the Color Rush jersey, because this is the one that Eli Manning himself wore. It's a really thick, heavy-duty plastic patch, but I stitched it on using blue thread. I mean, I'm not much of a tailor or anything, but you don't even notice it. You can see how wonky my stitching is, but still. But this is the Vapor Fuse. It's got the elastic cuffs, and that's pretty much it. I almost don't wear this jersey anymore because I'm afraid to fuck it up because they don't make these anymore. Now that they got the Vapor Fuse Elites. So that's my New York Giants jersey collection. I go to the NFL games a lot. I can't wear a white jersey. I'll get hot dogs, stuff on it, and spill beer on it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, I really don't condone counterfeit jerseys or anything like that. But in certain situations, see, like if you're a sports scorer, like if I would have went out to watch Real Madrid and Bayern Munich at a bar, which I don't go to bars anymore, any of that stupid stuff. The only reason I did it last year a little bit was to get over to the death of my dad. I think I owed it to myself to blow off some steam. But if I were to go to a sporting bar to watch a game, I would probably bring a fake jersey because it's not worth it, because the price on some of these jerseys are just astronomical. And especially if they're rare, or if it's like this, where it's like, as close to what Eli Manning would have wore on the field, and he's not playing anymore, and they don't manufacture this style anymore, I'm not willing to ruin this. Jonathan, what's going on? Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. By the way, shameless plug here for the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is mostly a hobbyist channel, sporting channel, all that kind of stuff. We talk about sporting goods, sneakers, hats, jerseys, Transformers toys, baseball cards. I talk about my eBay business where I sell baseball cards. I got War for Cybertron Thundercracker up there because I just got my Studio Series Thundercracker. I did order for Skywarp, and whenever they release Starstream, who knows? But I just got the email tonight. If you look at my community page, I'll be getting my Power Glide soon with the mask. And with all that being said, guys, do me a huge favor. If you haven't done so already, if 4 of you have done so already, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, check out my eBay store. The link is in the description box of this live stream. My eBay store is called the Carolina Collector. And if you want to make a small one-time donation, click on the coffee link. It's all appreciated. But just having you guys here, thank you very much. Do I have a new girlfriend? Oh, no way. I need a break. It's funny because I talked with my neighbor upstairs. She's very sweet. She's one of, I got to say, my neighbor upstairs and downstairs, it was a weird day yesterday because my downstairs neighbor called me. She needed a jump start. Her battery terminals are completely oxidized. So I got my screw gun with the brush, clean off the battery terminals. Thank you for that, Penny. Oh, you don't call yourself Penny Pounder anymore. I just noticed that. Again, long time no see. It's been a while. But where's my beer? Maybe during the live stream. Sometime during the live stream. I got 2 shelves worth of beer in my fridge. It's just I was sitting with one of my good friends today, and we slammed down a couple beers. I came home and slept it off and took some aspirin and took my supplements and my proteins. I took a hot shower. So, I got my second wind in me. So it was a interesting 48 hours. Like yesterday, my neighbor downstairs, her battery died like mine died. Unfortunately, we've had a dry spell here in the Carolinas. It's actually much worse in South Carolina than it is here. But my battery died in my car. I have a professional battery charger, a Craftsman one, but it wasn't registering. It wouldn't charge the battery or anything. I gave up on it. So I had to go get another one from AutoZone, and now the car starts. But I'm trying to sell off my top tier baseball cards to make enough money to buy a new car so I can pay cash, trade in my old one, walk out, no headaches, no credit cards, no nothing. And then, she called me yesterday saying, I need help to jumpstart my car. My battery's dead. It won't start. I'm like, oh, shit. So I have the portable one that I have, and then that didn't work. So then I had to professionally charge up her battery for her. And all of a sudden the car came to life, and that was awesome, and we were talking about my situation where this woman cheated on me. What about you go walking live stream? Yeah, I haven't walked in a couple days. I know that. Sorry for that, everybody. I will be getting back into the swing of things. It's just things right now are kind of like taking time for me right now. Little by little, I found in my life it's not good to rush from one thing to the next. I kind of like to transition little by little so I don't stress myself, to give myself time to breathe and air out. But there will be more walking live streams. I promise you that. When? I don't know. But anyway, and then I saw my upstairs neighbor and we were talking. I was out there getting all my shoe cleaning stuff. I got the Bugs Bunny 8s I showed on camera a couple times recently. And because it's so dry outside and there are no walk paths, no concrete walk paths or anything, if you walk out in the grass, your Nike Air Jordans or your good sneakers will get dirty real quick. So she scared the living piss out of me because I didn't hear her walking up the steps. And I went, and I'm out there with no shirt on. I've got workout shorts on and all that kind of stuff. And, we were talking about it, and she even said, that's why I don't date either, because, she keeps to herself and does her own thing and, works and whatnot. And then right after that, I got myself all fixed up and sat with my friend a little bit yesterday, but she wasn't feeling good. And then, today I sat with her a little bit on the other side of the property, and man, oof, what a day. Today was just right out of the gate was another amazing, beautiful, stress-free, no drama. I had a bunch of eBay orders I brought to the post office and mailed out. You guys just heard in real time right now, especially for my new viewers, I sold this Jason Dominguez blue Topps Gold. So, where's my pet? I don't want it. I don't want pets. I'm not a pet guy. I'm really not much of a pet guy. When we were kids back in New York, we owned pugs or tried to raise pugs, or at least my parents did. But after the first dog died, it was very difficult to replace him. And the only one that has a dog in my family, I believe, is my sister. But yeah, I just don't have the patience and time for it. It's not like I don't like animals. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, man? Thank you very much. I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate it. I deeply appreciate it. This is Jeremy's a longtime supporter of the channel, eBay customer, all that good stuff, Saw a couple of my pretty down and out videos and offered advice and all that cool stuff. So Jeremy, thank you very much for that. I deeply, deeply appreciate that. Let me go put this back on my clothing rack, my sports rack. I'll be right back, folks. Maybe I'll grab a beer for the live stream. Grab these two. I'm not going to go too crazy though because, oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this because the last time I had a beer, I drank it out of a Stein. This time it's Das Boot. I'll drink it out of Das Boot. How's that? I like these Miller Lights, the screw tops. Coors Light makes these also. So like, if you drink a beer, you can always put the screw top back on and the beer stays fresh for a couple days, like you just, here, see, this is one I had today that I packed up and brought back here at home because I couldn't drink anymore. I wasn't cooked or stewed or anything, but I was feeling pretty good. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And she had stuff to do and I'm like, I love the screw tops. They're so much better because you can keep your beer. You can have your beer and drink it too, which is great. You got a gold blue card. Yeah, that's a Jason Dominguez Topps Gold 2024 card that I sold in real time here. Here, I'll show it on camera again. Give me a second. So this was just bought in real time. So this is a parallel to what your standard Topps Gold cards would look like in the 2024 paper set. I'm surprised people are still buying Jason Dominguez cards because he got relegated to the minors. And the Yankees are looking awful, man. Oh my God, are they looking awful. I don't know why they don't bring up Spencer Jones. I don't know why they don't bring up George Lombard. It makes no sense. I know you got Aaron Judge in the outfield. I know you got Cody Bellinger out there. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Do I have football cards? I do have some. I did open some football here on the channel, but baseball was my main thing. But what's been happening in the sports card hobby, unfortunately, has turned me off to such a point where I don't even want to open up product anymore. Like Topps Chrome Football just came out, and immediately the bots got it. They're being flipped for like $1,800 now. I'm seeing again on eBay. In some cases, $2,000. I'm like, it doesn't pay. I learned my lesson 2 years ago when I tried to pick up Top Sapphire. I had 2 boxes, ran me $900. Topps took the money out of my account, and then within 5 minutes, that money was put right back in again because of the bots. So I lost out on Topps Sapphire for nothing. That's when I finally started to see, my eyes are opened up to all this stuff where I finally see what's going on with the hobby here. It's just not, it's not fun. It's just not fun. I mean, it's cool if you're an average Joe and you're opening up packs of cards and you get like, and I pulled some pretty, pretty good humdingers, you know what I mean, on the channel. But I lost interest. It's too expensive, and you can't get product if you're a regular average Joe like me. I've tried, even with business accounts. The only people I've been able to depend on were like Best Buy. Was I used to get hanger boxes of 2024 update, and I opened up all kinds of cards, But like trying to get Breakers Delight boxes, they would run me like $500 a box. You only get like what, 12 cards, and you don't know what you're getting. It's gambling. It really is. And I said enough. And I got boxes and boxes of cards still that I need to sell. I probably have enough baseball cards to sell for the next maybe 18 to 24 months. The only cards I would not sell are my father's cards. Excuse me. Are my father's cards, which I'll never sell them, or cards that were given to me by close friends. Take care, Jonathan. Thank you for joining up. I really appreciate you for showing up. But yeah, I think my days in the sports card hobby are done. Whatever I sell on eBay, I'm just gonna keep it going as is. Been doing pretty good lately. I sold off the Don Mattingly rookie, which I really didn't want to do, but I did. I got the Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome Refractor up there right now. I had an interested customer, and I threw him an offer for this. I'm just waiting to see what happens. Usually with big cards, it takes a couple days for them to sell. But, again, I'm trying to push to get a new car if I can. And then, of course, the Shohei Ohtani and the Ken Griffey Jr., these are the last two big cards after that, which I will most likely sell. So the Griffey broke $5,000 recently. I'm sorry, the Griffey broke $6,000 recently at Fanatics. And the Shohei Ohtani finally reached 5,000. So now the Griffey's still here. I'm holding it in my hand right here, but I will sell it. This card actually reached $6,000 recently, according to PSA and Sports Cards Pro. So, but I eventually will sell those too. I need, it's, getting a new car is more out of necessity. I'm not the type of guy to go flaunting around myself. I'm not a young buck anymore. But it's just this car. I'm not willing to put any more money into it. Yeah, both of these are PSA 10s. So you got the cert number right there with the Lighthouse label on it. The Shohei Ohtani is a PSA 10. The Griffey's a PSA 10. You see it right there in the top corner. And I think I bought the Griffey for like $1,700 a couple of years ago, and then the Shohei, I want to say maybe like $1,100 or whatever it was, and now they're like $5,000 and $6,000 a piece, respectfully. The Aaron Judge, I bought this for like $600. The holder was broken on it. It was an SGC 10 and an SGC holder, and it had a big crack. So I bought it. I said, you know what, I'm going to take a chance, resubmit it to SGC, because this is not a PSA 10. This would never make a PSA 10 with today's standards. And thankfully, I was able to submit this before PSA took over SGC, because you can see it tends to favor this side here a little bit more than this side. And on the front, it favors this side a little more than this side. But we're talking about anywhere between, and the most recent offer I threw to a customer was $3,275 for this card. My initial listing is $3,500, but $3,200 for an SGC 10 is not bad for a Bowman Chrome Refractor for Aaron Judge. By the way, folks, there it is, Das Boot. Cheers, everybody. Oh, man, is that good. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing another round of beer today. My God. But like I said, we were out there today. It was just too hot. You know what happened? I think it got too hot too fast because it was kissing 90 degrees here today. And she's been busy cleaning her home, and I cleaned my apartment a little bit. I got to take all this stuff off my desk and dust my desk. I got to do my TV stand. I did vacuum today. I vacuumed my bedroom, vacuumed the living room, and all that sort of thing. I threw out some more stuff. I got another big bag of garbage right there on my patio to get rid of. By the way, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. There's the candy for the kids and the Doritos that I bought for the kids. They weren't outside today. I was shocked. And I think that has a lot to do with the office because of the way the kids have been playing these days. One of them discharged the fire extinguisher, apparently, according to the recent emails that we got. Kids are going to do stupid things, but geez, man. So who's this now? Hello? Who's yo? What happened? Guys, I'll be right back. Stay right there. Don't leave. What happened? Shit, I'm doing a live stream right now. I got my camera on. I mean, I can probably call from my home phone if anything. Yeah, let me. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to call from here because it doesn't go that far. So if you know the number offhand. Yeah. Hang on, guys. We'll be right back, all right? Don't go nowhere, everybody. No, you're all right. Don't go anywhere, people. I'll be right back, all right? Always expect the unexpected at the Carolina Collector's Place. Still with me, folks? Let me see here. How we doing? How we stinking? Everybody good? Just hang out for a minute, folks. I'll be right back with you. Let me take a swig of the good old Das Boot. Don't go nowhere, people. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Today I turned 49 years old, so that's why I'm doing that live stream. Yeah. Now I'm probably going to be on there for maybe like, 10:30 now. I started early, probably like around 11 o'clock, 1:30. Well, today. Probably. All right. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm going to wait for a little bit. I got some commentary I'm about to drop on you guys and gals out there. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, man, snap it to a Slim Jim, baby. Man, when you drink beer with Slim Jims, it's like eating a meal almost. I'm not recommend. Oh, Jesus. I'm not recommending meal replacement using Slim Jims, but just give me a minute or two here. Now, for you guys and gals that are new to the channel, this is an example of what happens when your entire life revolves around smoking dope and drinking. And this is the first time in a long time he's came up here knocking on the door to use my home phone. Now, I'm not going to stop my live stream just to help him fix his shit, because he's lost his phone a whole bunch of times. You know why? It's because of this and because of this. The last time he lost his phone, this particular individual, the phone was right by his feet in his apartment, and he came down here and bothered me to help him find his phone because he was so fucking stewed. And this has been like it hasn't been as bad as it was with people coming and knock on my door, because obviously I'm very self-sufficient. I'm not rich, but clearly I have the ability to take care of myself. I got fucking tools. I got stuff to clean. I had to buy a new vacuum cleaner because a pot smoking dumbass that lives in my buddy Wolf's apartment now broke my old vacuum cleaner. I'm like the only one that has this kind of stuff here. And the people, unfortunately, become too dependent on me. And I've had enough of that shit. And I've kind of like shut the door on all that kind of stuff. Like this one downstairs that used to come up all the time. She got an eviction notice. She hasn't been paying her rent. Her own fault. Because you want to get wasted and all fucked up and cause problems for everybody around here. As nice of a lady as she was when she would come up here, it would bring problems to me because the optics don't look good. I run a business, a legitimate LLC for my home. I just renewed for the next 12 months through the Secretary of State's website there, through LegalZoom. I can't have that kind of shit. And when they bring their drama here, it's no good for me because it doesn't look good. Oh, yeah. So, you remember the saga. Yeah. He called me multiple times, right? This individual. I don't even want to say his name. The things that I helped that man with, he called me last night on my phone, like around 12:30, begging for me to call him and talk to him. I'm done. I'm done with people. I've had enough. You know, with some of the bullshit that still floats around about me on the internet, I have, not to pull a Jeremy Hamley, because I won't take their channels down, but when you're attacking my poor father and you're attacking my grandfather, who's past tense, a Purple Heart recipient and served this country, and you're going to generate AI videos with him and me and everything else, fuck that. Focus on taking videos of airplanes flying in the sky or fancy cars or the landscape. Leave me out of it. You know, but he was a two-faced snake for all these years. What's up, 99? How you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Well, cheers, by the way. We got Das Boot going tonight. Got some Miller Lite in there. And I am taking it way easy because I had a couple beers with my friend today. I mean, I didn't get drunk or anything like that. It was enough to keep me interesting. But I called it an early day, today, because she had things to do and I had to, I'm like, I got to rest up for a little bit. If I wanted to do this live stream, I kind of had it in my mind, like, don't get all sour, So I took a nice nap and a hot shower, and here I am. But anyway, yeah, I don't associate myself with him anymore. Again, he's been calling me for the past 2 weeks now. When my father died last June, I needed him by my side. And instead, he fucking decided to listen to people that doxed him to get to me. He made his choice. Now he's going through all sorts of crazy shit. I don't care. You don't turn your back on me. To me, loyalty is everything. Loyalty and your fucking word is everything. How are those big cards selling? Yeah, let's change subjects here. Well, Well, I did sell the Don Mattingly, and I put money to the bills again and all that kind of stuff. I filled up my refrigerator, took care of some things. I sent my niece and my nephew some of that money from that card. I put some money in my bank account, of course. I bought kids. One of my donors, as a matter of fact, I'll bring it over here so you guys can see it. And when you guys donate to the channel, if I have disposable income as well, I like to take care of the kids here in the neighborhood. So they weren't playing today, unfortunately. I think it's because the office kind of like put the fear of God into people, because it's not that they're bad kids. The problem is when they ride their bikes and their scooters. They don't listen to me. They don't listen to my friend. They don't listen to the other parents around here. So the big boss lady came outside and scolded two of them, and rightfully so, and she's right. And I'm on the side of the office with this one, because unfortunately you have irresponsible parents that are out there that just don't care, and some of these kids, they have a habit of going onto other people's patios, taking other kids' bikes and scooters and skateboards. Two of these kids actually broke a new friend that I met recently, broke his son's bicycle. The chain guard broke. The reflective lights broke on it. I felt so bad for him, because they're such a nice family. So the big boss lady actually told him, don't ever come back on this side of the property again unless your parents are here. So there's all the Sour Patch Kids for them. And there's more in here. I was ready to give this out today, but like I said, they weren't outside playing today. And I think that's because, the office put a scare into a lot of the kids. So you got that, and you got the box of Doritos right there. This is a 10-pack. So, but that's for the kids. If I have the disposable income, and you guys got my word, if I get donation money, or if I see that I've made some good money over at my eBay store, I'll take a small piece of that money and I'll take care of the kids around here, give them snacks and all that kind of stuff. I try to give back. I don't need fucking Star Wars costumes and Masonic fucking aprons and funny handshakes and bullshit and secret words like Tubal Cain to prove what kind of man I am. I'm still the same guy, but it's under my terms, my way, my terms, me. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Don Mattingly sold. I have the Aaron Judge up there right now, as a matter of fact. It happens to be right here. I listed this for $3,500 because it is an SGC holder, and I know how baseball card collectors are. I did pass off an offer to one interested customer. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. I threw an offer of $3,275 for this card. We'll see what happens with that. But I did make some decent sales over the past couple days. Tonight, I made some good sales with these cards here. And there's still money that's going to clear by the end of tonight. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, this is a beautiful card. But, listen, man, right now at this point in time, I'm not willing to pour any more money into that car that I've got outside. I got a brand new transmission in that thing, and every time one thing gets fixed, something else breaks. I've had enough. It's a lost cause. So if I can raise enough money to be able to pay cash or a personal check to a dealership and try to get a trade-in for this guy, whatever I can get out of it, I get out of it. Pour that into a decent used car. I'd like to get me another Toyota RAV4 if I can. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a new RAV4, I think. There are a couple I am watching, but they sell fast. If you don't jump on them, especially if they're under 100,000 miles, they will sell quickly. The problem is, I know my customer base, and I have a lot of blue collar customers that do tend to save up their money. And some of the big boy cards, like a lot of my autographs, take time to sell. I still have a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. auto that's up there. There's a couple more autos up there. It just takes time. You have to wait. And I can't make people donate to my channel. I can't make people buy my baseball cards. It's just a waiting game, which I don't mind because, through YouTube now, I mean, you guys know, you probably get annoyed at me doing it. But, you know, this is all legitimate. It's all on the books. Everything is fine. Again, thank you to Donald Trump, President Trump, for the big, beautiful bill that I didn't have to file tax on any of this stuff. But here, I mean, here are the latest orders I got, and this is the one that sold tonight. How long did that car last? Well, unfortunately, I went out one night to a part of town in Concord, North Carolina, where I used to live before I came back here, and it was pouring rain outside. I had a couple of drinks. I made a turn on a road that it was completely black outside, and the rain was bad. I hit a corner like this, and instead of, you know, taking my time to go around this way because the curve was like that, stupid me hit the edge of the curve. I lost control of the car and bam, head first right into a tree. I had 3 fractured ribs, a concussion, all that kind of thing. The car was totaled, unfortunately. It was devastating, but thank God the claim adjuster, they went through everything and, you know, and cut me a check right then and there, and I put whatever money from that check plus my own personal money into a new car. So, well, what was technically a new car at that time. Now, this thing is a walking ticking time, or a rolling ticking time bomb. So, but if I'm able, you know, if these sales keep going like the way they are, and I'm able to sell those 3, and I still got boxes of cards yet to sell, I probably have about a year or 2 more of cards, maybe more. But I'm waiting this time around. Like, I didn't use up my 250 slots on eBay, because you get 250 listing slots if you're a top seller like I am. So, because I really want to clear some of my inventory and get that number down so that this way I can put some more cards. As I know a lot of people, they don't want to scroll through 600 listings, you know. How many miles did you get out of your current? With that car that I had, it wasn't a lot. I think I just broke 100,000 miles with my old RAV4. This Ford, the car I have now is a Ford Edge, a 2008 Ford Edge. And those cars are notorious for having all sorts of electrical issues. And I didn't do my research at that time because I needed a fucking car, you know what I mean? And I didn't look into it. And this car has been, in the beginning, when I first got this car, it was fine. There were a few little repairs and things I had to do to the car. But now it's just, it's like a progressive collapse at this point. I mean, some of the failures in the car are catastrophic. You know, like the transmission went out. I had to get a new transmission put into the car. That ran me $3,000. That's half of a good used car right there. And the hatch, what they call the operating arm, there's 2 pistons on my hatch. One is just to keep the door up when the car opens up, or when the back hatch opens up, that keeps it up. And then it releases the air pressure when it comes down. And then you have the actual operating arm, which has a coil in it that raises and drops down the hatch. That's what broke. No, I have a 2008 Ford Edge Limited. It's a shame because the car, it's actually a decent car. It's a tank. But I literally repaired the air conditioning system myself. And I put a brand new cruise control module in it. I pulled off the airbag and put a new module in it, and did a whole bunch of other stuff on my own. But, you know, my skills are limited because I'm not an auto mechanic. You know, things I can do, I will do. But it just reached a point where, like, there's just no point in fixing it no more. It's not worth it. So, unfortunately, you know, it's costing me my baseball card collection, but it is what it is. You know, I rather have a car than this stuff. You know, I've been very fortunate to have been doing this now for 2 years. As of June will be 2 years. Excuse me. So, you know, and I probably have about another year and a half, another year and a half worth of baseball cards and stuff to sell. And then eventually I'm going to have to go out there and start buying product again. So, I hope he don't come back down here. He's pissed drunk. Now, the only reason why I give him a beer, or any of these dumbasses beers, is so that they go away. You ever watch A Bronx Tale with C or Corogino and Sonny? And Sonny's chasing down the one kid in the neighborhood for like $20. And Sonny says, "What the fuck do you care if he owes you $20? That $20 now, he'll never bother you for anything ever again. You basically paid him off to never look at you, never see you, never talk to you, never bother you." And I kind of use that strategy in real life, when it comes to, because he wakes up, this individual here, he wakes up at like fucking 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, gets on his bike, because you're not allowed to buy beer until 7 o'clock in the morning. I think it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on Sundays here in the South. Get on his fucking mountain bike, go out there, get beer, smoke fucking dope all day long, get on his bike, get more beer, smoke more dope, wash, rinse, repeat all day long. I can't do that. I can't do that. And if you heard me on camera, I gave him a bullshit story. I'm obviously not going up there. I'm doing this live stream, and that's that. So, anyway. Oh, man, that's good. But we'll see what happens down the road. I got time. The only problem is the longer I wait. Lucky you don't live in a dry county. Well, that's true too. A lot of southern counties here. Charlotte does have its rules. For example, with open carry laws. South Carolina is a constitutional carry for, firearms and stuff like that. We are not. I know they've increased liability tax in South Carolina to bars and restaurants because people down there, and even here in Charlotte, have a tendency of over-serving customers alcohol. And North and South Carolina drivers are fucking awful. They're awful. They are much worse than the people in my former home in New York. So now they've been hit with all of these liability things. I think like millions of dollars in liability through their insurance. That's what they signed into law. And a lot of places are closing because they're constantly over-serving their patrons. Have you decided where you're moving to? That's a tough question, because now with the way things are going around here, minus the personal issue with what happened with me being cheated on, and the way everybody's kind of like coming together and gelling and coalescing, especially now that the weather's getting warmer, and me doing my thing for the kids, and they got a lot of things planned for the property. They sent out a mass email to everybody about like, I think tomorrow they're doing like some social work, for people that have like anxiety and depression or having problems paying their bills, or maybe they're divorced or all that kind of stuff and going through a rough time. That's cool of them to do, But they have events for the kids coming up now, and the pool's going to be opening hopefully next month, which is good for all of us. So, but they've really cracked the whip, and I'm all for it. I'm very happy with what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because, I see it myself. After everything that happened last year, I think everything reached a fever pitch, and they finally started clamping down, and good for them. I'm all on their side over there. So, we'll see what happens. Right now, I don't want to leave here because, the view that I have, I'm very comfortable here. I've never felt more at home anywhere else than on this property. Everything is right here, walking distance. So I'd be foolish to leave. Right now, especially for the rent that I'm paying here, you're not going to find the kind of rent anywhere else that I'm paying here in this apartment. I know that for a fact. Especially since we're in what's called unincorporated Mecklenburg County. It's weird because you have Mecklenburg County and then you have the city of Charlotte basically superimposed over that. So you got a county and then you have a city. And being here in Pineville, I'm on the outskirts of the Charlotte and Mecklenburg border. That's why we have our own police. Whereas if I lived outside of this property, probably not even a mile, not even a half a mile from here, Charlotte Mecklenburg police would be our police force. So is your rent grandfathered from when I first lived here till I came back? The rent really didn't change that much, surprisingly. when I first moved here, my first apartment, it was a one bedroom just like this. But I had the stackable washer and dryer in the closet. This apartment doesn't have it. Back then, um, I think it was like $900 rent. It was like I want to say like 950, 960 plus water. And a cable was included. So of course, over time, we're talking 10 years ago. Right now, for this apartment plus water, on average, it comes out, and I pay through their portal, so it's like an extra $2 or $3 to pay through the portal. I can walk in there with a personal check. They don't accept money orders unless it's a cashier's check. My current rent is like 1,200 and change here. So, and I'm not going to beat that anywhere. Not going to get that anywhere else. So it would be foolish for me to leave. But the option is still there, unfortunately. It just all depends. Right now, I'll be honest with all of you after what happened with this woman and what she did to me, and with all the things I've experienced, and now the way things have kind of shifted, and my eBay sales have really picked up recently, and a lot of the have-nots, I don't like. She's gone most likely because she got an eviction notice. I think the thing was up as of Wednesday, so I'm expecting to see a yellow sheriff's department piece of paper downstairs any day now. They had a sheriff's department sign on another apartment over here that got somebody out by force recently. The police are around here watching and all that. I mean, it's just what they're doing here, especially they did that wonderful Easter hunt for the kids. That's something that the kids need around here. And with the pool opening up and everything, this is the time for me to kind of like, bask and stew in things, My current lease won't be up until February of 2027, so I got plenty of time to decide. Going back to New York is just not in the cards. That's not happening. You could not pay me, especially with the bullshit. I don't want to get into politics, but with the latest bullshit where they want to ban air guns and pellet guns and BB guns, and now they want to tax people who own property who don't live in New York, who own property up there. They want like a luxury tax or some bullshit. I don't even want to talk about that, but I'd be foolish to move back up there. I'd be very stupid. It would be very stupid. Those shoes you got, weren't they banned? And if so, why? Oh, the Adidas shoes. I got them sitting right here. I gave them a good cleaning recently. Oh, shit. Yeah, these are them right here. So, here, these are the Adi Zero Primes that I got a couple of years ago. They have carbon fiber plates on the inside. You can actually see the plate right there. And they're very lightweight. And they don't have any treads on the bottom. These are meant specifically for marathons. But these particular shoes got banned because not only do they have that super thick foam sole on them, the carbon fiber plates that are built into the sneakers, there are two of them that, you could probably see a little bit through there. But they cause the shoes to essentially be springs underneath your feet. And as a result, the shoes, they're a little weird to walk in, especially if you're used to wearing Jordans like I do. They tend to push you forward a little bit, which essentially makes you slightly faster. And they tested those particular shoes and found out, I think it was in a New York City marathon or a Boston marathon, where somebody wore them shoes. They actually broke like a speed record as a result of those shoes. And as a result, they got banned. 50% proposed inheritance tax. Fuck that. Yeah, I agree. There's no way. And now all of a sudden they're trying to force the clergy and hospices to use fucking pronouns with people laying dead in a bed. Imagine if my father was still in hospice. My dad, even though he developed Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever that shit was, my dad as with the mindset that my dad had, he still understood quite a bit, even in that state that he was in before he died. He would have told him, go fuck yourself and your pronouns. How dare these people try to force people to call somebody what they are not. You are either a man or you are a woman. Period. Period. Just because you duct tape your wee-wee to the side of your leg and put on a dress does not make you a woman. Fuck your pronouns. And fuck your rainbow flags, too. Cheers. Yeah, that's crazy. Appreciate the knowledge. For the shoes? Yeah. Yeah, if you actually do your homework and you look up marathon band sneakers, I believe it's the same make and model, or it's something very similar to it as far as the Adidas shoes are concerned. But here you can actually see there's like a little, that's the carbon fiber plating that's underneath. You can actually see it right there. You see that blue right there? That's the overlapping plates, and you can see it through here as well. You can if you have I got fat fingers, but you stick your finger in them holes, ha ha ha. That's what she said. You can actually feel the carbon fiber plates in there. So, yeah, but those shoes are like $300 something or whatever it was. But they are awesome to walk in. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's like walking on sponges or cotton balls. They're very nice to walk in. But again, you're not allowed to use them in marathons. You get caught using them in a professional marathon, you'll probably be banned. So I think it's about time for a shameless e-beg here, folks, if you folks don't mind. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in this live stream as of tonight. I am 49 years old. I'm doing this birthday live stream to basically say thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel and my fellow hobbyists and sports fans and Transformers collectors, sneaker collectors, hat collectors, jersey collectors, whatever hobby you're into, you're most welcome here. Thank you very much. And if you want to help to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. It always helps with the algorithm. Check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below. I did make one live sale in this live stream tonight. Thank you to the customers that bought these particular cards. These are my orders for today so far. Or if you want to make a small one-time donation, my coffee link is in the description box below. You can donate whatever you want. If you want to, you don't have to. Not pressuring nobody. But it is always appreciated. And, sometimes I'll take my own money and the donated money, and I'll buy stuff like this for the kids that live here. I bought, this got to be like $25 worth of fucking Sour Patch Kids here for the kids. So they'll probably be outside playing tomorrow. But like I said, they cracked the whip down here. They just don't want the kids running in and out of the street, and rightfully so. Hopefully you're talking about teacher mechanic Transformers, not the ones from you know the type of Transformers I'm talking about. Man, they tried that bathroom bill bullshit down here in North Carolina, and it failed epically. At least that's one thing I will say is we still have a very large majority in the North Carolina City Senate and House. Unfortunately, Mecklenburg County, where I live, is very blue because a lot of people, typically, of course, human behavior will dictate the insanity that most people operate by. The more you try to do something different, it always turns out to be the same result. Isn't that like the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So people from my former hometown, they bring their, it, what, who, pronoun, fat, black, trans, set them ring, guilty white liberal fucking greasy slimy hair with the rivets in their face and staples and lip plates, got shit in their lips or whatever the fuck it is they do, and they all identify as a three-legged poodle, and they move down here and they completely destroy the ecosphere that's down here. And now our city council here is saturated with Democrats, and of course a couple of them got busted. And this is not racist. This is a fact. The majority of the people that are getting busted these days in the courthouses, city councils, mayor's offices, take a guess what they are. Not just Democrat. Am I trying to open up a retail store? Nah. I like being my own boss. If that's one thing I will say about doing this, I like being in charge of myself. If I feel like stopping, like right now, and I don't want to sell anything, I'll put a disclaimer up on my eBay store because you can actually set up a timeout for your eBay store. But I like the fact that I can come and go as I please. I really, except for, obviously YouTube, I'm dealing with the public. My interactions with the public are very limited, with the exception of having to obviously bring deliveries to the post office. I have no interaction with the public whatsoever, except through my YouTube channel, or if I'm networking with my customers through eBay's Messenger. Pardon me. I like to come and go as I please. I like to be on my own time. I don't like to be under pressure. If I open up my own kiosk or my own business, I'm going to have to pay rent on that business. I'm going to have to pay taxes on that business. Working right out of my home, it has huge, huge benefits. There are massive benefits until Trump leaves office. Whether or not they're going to keep this $20,000 threshold on small businesses like mine, who's to say? If I do happen to sell that Ken Griffey Jr., the Aaron Judge, and the Shohei Ohtani, I'm going to have to file a 1099-K next year. There's no escaping it. But I prefer the comfort of my home. I can't have, by law, I cannot have this set up inside my bedroom. I would prefer it to be out of sight, out of mind, because it does take up a lot of space in my living room. But, at the same time, it's my home. And if I don't feel like doing this, I don't have to. I could just go to bed. But I'm just like, I prefer this. I don't want to be around the public. I like being in charge of myself. If I don't want to deal with the outside world, I shut my door, I close the blinds. It's unfortunate. Once again, my fucking front door is open and people are knocking on my door asking me for shit, like always. I'm excited to look forward to those wax openings. Yeah, it's just, man, look what happened again with Topps Chrome Football with this latest release. Just like that, gone. I got the emails myself from Topps. I actually still have Fanatics Bucks. Oh no, I used those up for this jersey. That's right, I forgot. And, not this jersey. I'm sorry. I used it for the incoming Jackson Dart home Giants jersey in the size 44. But I still have $30 worth of Topps Bucks to use. But it's just trying to get waxes, trying to get those jumbo boxes and hobby boxes, man. It's hard. It's really, really hard. I tried to pull the trigger the last time they dropped Topps basketball. I gave up. I actually did make a conscious attempt to get a jumbo box. Gone. Didn't even try. So, and I didn't make a video about it because I didn't want to bitch about it because there are already enough content creators talking about it. I didn't want to be, just regurgitating the same talking points as they did. So, it's so expensive on the secondhand market. Yeah, it's gross. And now recently in the Pokemon space, somebody got shot. Somebody actually got shot because of Pokemon cards. And in a way, even though I work out of my home and I am well defended here in my home, I don't want this stuff sitting around in my home forever. You know what I mean? Almost all my furniture that I have, not all of it, but a lot of it, the desk, this table, my ottoman, my couch, my dining room table and chairs, my bar stools, almost everything I bought off of Amazon because it's cheap. Obviously the jerseys, the sneakers are probably the most expensive stuff. But when it comes to big collectibles like that, like I don't own jewelry. Except for, a wristwatch or two. But, I don't want, I do worry about my home. I actually have a deadlock on my door that I installed myself to lock myself in and to lock the door on the outside because this is still a wood frame door. So I make sure I have it double padlocked now just in case when I leave and when I come back in. Because now if people are willing to kill each other over fucking pictures of fucking yellow rabbits, you know what I mean? In the form of Pokemon, it's really a sad world we live in. That people want easy money. They're not willing to work for it. This is work. There are days where I'll sit down and I'll list. I still have a pile of cards right here I was supposed to list over at my eBay store. And now that I got those 500 top loaders that showed up the other day, I want to sit here and transfer these into top loaders so I can list them on eBay because these are my next batch. But, I took a look at that and I'm like, you know what? I better wait until my inventory declines on eBay so that people aren't sitting there scrolling through 7, 8, 900 listings. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to want to take the time to do that. So I want those numbers to come down just a little bit. I kind of have a feeling like the 600 to 650 listing threshold, I think, is where I want to keep it. And that's where I've been successful so far. But it's just people are killing each other over fucking Pokemon cards, man. And if they can kill over Pokemon cards, people will kill over anything. Again, may I remind you, I was at that World Trade Center site for the first 5 days after it happened. And if people can do that out of religious fanaticism, people will kill for many other reasons, folks. That's a fact. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get, let me just read this comment here quickly. I don't get Pokemon. It's a kid's game. That Pokemon hobby is crazy. Yeah, they're fucking nuts. I thought, sports card collectors are crazy in their own way. People are fans of things. Obviously, here I am wearing Giants gear. You know what I mean? I'm also, a retro guy. I'm an 80s kid. So a lot of my jerseys are all retro jerseys. I'm a German soccer guy. People are fans of things. The problem is when you introduce money into it, the greed, it gets out of control. And as a result of greed, people want easy money. They want the easy money. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to earn it. Again, this is not me flexing, but I'm blessed. I went through a lot of things. And I have to say it was meant to be by the Almighty upstairs because he enabled me to remember the lessons my dad taught me. And, my dad would say, don't end up like me when I lost my job, because he cleaned toilets and mopped floors and whatever he had to do, he did. And that's why I started this eBay business. I never want to struggle like the way he did. I don't want to go through that, what he went through. You know what I mean? And people don't want to realize, like, is it really worth killing somebody over just for something like this? But we live in a very unethical world, a very unethical society. It's ridiculous and sad. It's unfortunate. Ever go to Shanksville? Yes, as a matter of fact. Well, coincidentally, my dad grew up in what's known as Somerset County. That's where Shanksville, Pennsylvania is. It's 10 miles outside of my dad's, childhood home in Pennsylvania. So my dad had a house in Central City, Pennsylvania. My aunt and uncle, prior to them dying years ago, they had a house right up the road. I still have cousins and second cousins that live in Pennsylvania to this day. But the county in and of itself is known as Somerset County, and Shanksville is 10 miles from where my dad had his home, past tense, before my mother put it up for sale. And let me tell you, my dad fucking hated it. I visited it one time when I went to my dad's house in Pennsylvania. He didn't want to be there. I certainly didn't want to be there because it not only did the U.S. government, again, I don't mind them memorializing what happened. And how can I put this? It felt uncomfortable. It's just like now, if I were to go to New York and I were to go to Ground Zero, I've also been to D.C. by the Pentagon. It just feels out of place to me because of the way the fucking world is now. It's lost all of its meaning to me. It has no meaning at all. With the it, what, who pronouns shit and the black Marxism. And, of course, I mentioned the city council people here. Of course, it's all of them. All these black politicians are getting busted for fraud and extortion. Sheriff McFadden, he almost got his ass kicked out of here because of his bullshit for being a fucking, well, that's what happens when you're an angry black socialist accusing everybody of being a fucking racist, when you, the individual, are an asshole and want to place the blame of your failures on everybody else. It's lost its fucking meaning with the cross-dressing and the fucking alphabet bullshit and the pronouns and everything else. To me, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Now for me these days, when I used to be really a big fist pumper about it, and Mr. Patriotic, wearing the hats and the t-shirts and having the statues and photos, and it lost its meaning for me. It doesn't, it'll always be a part of me, but I don't treat it the same way anymore. To me, it's a joke. It's a joke, and I'm going to say it. It's a joke. It will always be a part of me. What I saw and what I did, no one can ever change that. No one can take it away from it. There is no narrative that anybody that can change that, or putting words in my mouth. I know what I did. I know what I saw. All I had to do was prove it to the city, the state, the government, my union, and everybody else. They're the only ones I had to prove myself to. But today, with the pronouns and the leftist Marxism, look what's happening in Virginia right now with that fucking ugly white looking, disgusting, used up wash rag governor that they got now. Look what they're trying to do over there. They're trying to redistrict everything so that Republicans can no longer win Virginia, or even have a chance at winning anything in Virginia as far as politics are concerned. Look at my former home in New York. Now they want to tax people through the roof when it comes to property if you don't live in New York. And now they want to take away your air guns and your BB guns. Fuck that, man. It's lost all of its meaning. The Constitution is being crumpled up more and more and more and more. It's being crumpled up into a piece of garbage paper, and people are just going to wipe their ass with it. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like right now, I got photos of my grandfather out there who served this country proudly. I have a photo of his headstone out there. My patio's proudly lit red, white, and blue. You really think these people give a shit? They don't. It's lost its meaning for me. When I went down there to visit my dad years ago, I didn't feel anything. I should have, and I didn't. When I settled my two or three of my World Trade Center cases, with the exception of maybe like 3 or 4 T-shirts that I like, and one or two 9/11 hats, all the T-shirts I had, I put knives through, tore up the shirts, threw them in the garbage. I had models of the Trade Center, models of the Pentagon. I smashed them with fucking hammers. I had models of the airplanes that I either gave away to the kids, or, you know, like my former friend, I'm not going to say his name here, he took those airplanes for his son, and the rest of them I broke because it lost its meaning for me. It doesn't mean anything. You know, my buddy from New York, when he comes down here, you know, I do it out of respect for him when he comes down here. If he wants to go to, like, you know, the ceremonies that they have down here, because it's not as grandioso as it is up there. But even when I watch the ceremonies on TV every anniversary, I watch it for like 5 minutes just to show my respect. And I get tired of hearing the names being read. It's not out of disrespect. It doesn't mean anything. And what's even more sad is that there are members of the 9/11 community that still vote Democrat. And apparently they haven't learned their fucking lesson. If you see videos today of what I see coming out of my former home of New York City, with these fucking bastards now saying bomb Israel, well, the greatest terror attack in our country's history happened, and now you got these, oh, don't say it, I almost said a certain F word, with their fucking hijabs around their face, whatever they call them things, talking about bombing Israel, and then I'm the bad guy? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Promoting anti-Semitism like that is wrong. Oh, you don't see that shit down here. You may see it in Uptown Charlotte, what we call Uptown Charlotte, which is Center City. You may see a couple of them freak shows up there. You won't see that down here where I live. You'd be hard pressed to find that shit down here. But that's why I get into it. I get into this topic not as much as I used to anymore. I'll bring it up if it comes up. Or I'll talk about it when it comes up, I should say, excuse me. But it's lost all of its meaning. It doesn't mean anything. It's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything anymore because the very fact that we lost over 3,000 people because of fanaticism in the form of religious fanaticism, that is religious fascism. And now you're literally trying to bend and change and warp reality just so you feel good. Get the fuck out of here. Some of us had to earn our place through fucking grit and grime and sorrow and pain and depression and anxiety and having people fucking stab us in the heart and all that kind of stuff. You ever been into exploring like where your ancestors came? Oh, I've done that already. I've done a lot of that already. You know, the founding last name of my family is Hildegard, which is the Norse Valkyrie that was appointed by Odin to rescue the souls of the fallen warriors from the field of battle. And Hildegard would escort those souls to the gates of Asgard into Valhalla. I normally would be wearing a Mjolnir, which is Thor's hammer, And I have it actually has the Aish Elmir in it, which is a protection symbol. But I don't want to scratch up this because this is like plastic. And if I know fanatics with their QC issues, I don't want to fuck up this shield. What's going on, Big Mama? Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, your donation to the channel, I don't know if you saw the YouTube short I uploaded today, but there you go. So thank you for that donation to my coffee link. So there's about maybe, and I put some of my own money into this too. So that donation that you posted, went to the kids. There's a box of child size Doritos here, which is awesome. So thank you for that. Since you're like the big donor to the channel, I appreciate that. But the kids got their potato chips and their candy, as I said I would. As the Joker would say, I'm a man of my word. So have you ever been into that kind of thing? The closest I've had to that would be, once again, my dad's hometown. We have a very extensive family burial. Well, how could I put this? There's a section of the cemetery that my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt and uncle, the Bulgers, the Thomases, the Hillegasses, they're all buried in my dad's hometown. That's an extensive family history in Pennsylvania. But because the majority of my family lives in New York, and for the convenience for them, I mean, I'm not afraid to fly back and forth. They decided to bury my dad in upstate New York, and coincidentally, the town where he's buried now is Valhalla, New York. So, because my uncle Jack is buried there, my aunt Donna is buried there. We have some extended family members buried there. It's a very beautiful burial plot. But there's a lot of family history still in Pennsylvania. I would love to go down there and explore. And it's a real shame because I wanted to see my dad's house before they put it up on a market and whatnot. But hey, listen, some things in life aren't meant to be. But there's still a lot of history back there with my family. I mean, Pennsylvania was typical of the Germans, the Dutch, the Irish, the Polish, the settle back there and then spread everywhere else. So we still have a big family presence back there. Any chance that cheating ex called to say happy birthday? Of course not. What, are you kidding? Fuck no. I wouldn't want her to anyway. She's got her ugly fucking man. She can have him. Fucking ugly looking penis face. I showed him to both my neighbors upstairs and down. Did I show it to her upstairs? No, I didn't show it to her upstairs, but I showed it to her, and I showed his photo to all the women around here, and they all laugh. They all laugh. The cashiers at Walmart, they laugh. And I stand by my word. He looks like a 4-year-old with a Jim Carrey haircut from Dumb and Dumber, with a swollen beer belly. At least he looks like he has a swollen beer belly, who discovered what his ding-dong is while he locked himself up in the bathroom, fapping for the first time. He's like, oh no, look, my wee-wee is pointing up. You know what I mean? He looks like the guy from the Goonies, like Sloth. He looks like one of the goons from Popeye. Remember the old Popeye cartoons, the goons? That's what he looks like. As you can tell, I am taking it really slow. Like I said, I didn't drink a lot today, but I did have a couple beers with, one of my good friends there. So I'm going really slow tonight drinking the beer. I don't want to be all sloshed. But I am feeling, it is what it is. And plus, I still got the Red Bull sitting over here too, by the way. I just don't get her. I don't understand her. I don't get why she did it. I mean, well, now I have kind of have answers, but that's still no excuse. There's no fucking excuse for that. There really isn't. That we didn't take enough nature walks and we didn't go out enough. That's a sign of a selfish person. She knows I run a business from home. She knows that I focus a lot of my time doing this. And again, this is people choosing, again, to see what they want to fucking see and hear what they want to hear because of their narrow-minded belief system and their selfish self-interest. I can stop my live stream right now. It's my live stream. I can shut this down anytime I want. I don't have to upload content to YouTube. It's my channel. I don't have to sell baseball cards at eBay. I can take a break for a week, which I've been known to do if it merits it. You know what I mean? I don't have to do anything. And if she wanted to go take a fucking nature walk, then say so. Say so. Mouth. You would think a woman single with a kid would want a responsible, hardworking, honest guy. I do believe you will find a banger of a woman. I see it. Thank you, everybody, for the vote of confidence. I mean, right now I'm kind of in my zone. I'm trying to get past all this stuff. It probably best it ended up this way. You avoided a train wreck. Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment from all of you, everybody. I really do. You know, it fucked me up because I've had crash and burn relationships. I've also dumped females in the past, but I've never experienced anything when you were just in my home, sitting, eating my food. We made love a couple times here, you know, a week before, you know, Valentine's Day. This closet right here was filled with stuff for her for Valentine's Day. And then she accidentally posts this fucking thing. And I'm like, wait, I've seen this before. I click on it. It was on WhatsApp. Obviously, she's got me blocked on WhatsApp. She's got me blocked on the cell phone. You know, her stupid, pathetic little YouTube channel that she's got. You know, she's had multiple, it's all YouTube shorts. And then she did this weird thing, singing and howling to the fucking ceiling. It's because this guy is putting, and I know Hispanic culture well enough. I grew up around a lot of Hispanic people. All right, when they go to these type of churches, they look like brick buildings, like old, ugly brick buildings, like old storefronts. They convert the churches. There's one right here up the road. And they're all overweight and old and, you know, dying and fucking weird and spooky. You know what I mean? And she looks like a Mormon. She looks like one of them. She was never like that. You guys saw the video, the compilation video of all the photos I had with the two of us. She's an amazing looking woman, but now she's using AI. She gained weight. I'm like, what the fuck? Any update on that ex that put the Christmas tree? I don't even want to talk about that either. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's old news, man. That's buried in my brain. You know, obviously it's still, you know, a little bit traumatic of what I went through. I'm not going to lie. Every time I see our house police officer or our security patrol driving around, I still get like that weird like bit of anxiety. It's like, what do they call it? Like that ASMR. I'm like, oh shit, I hope that's not for me. You know what I mean? I still get that, unfortunately, as a result, because that shit was traumatic. But again, the charges were dropped, and this happened when my father died. Without leave. That means the judge didn't even want to waste his time because it was bullshit. Fuck her as well, by the way. Thanks for reminding me of that. Fuck her, too. Fuck them all in the asshole with a big rubber dick. How did I meet her? Just by happenstance. Just by happenstance. You know, unlike popular opinion, you know, I do happen to go outside once in a while. You know what I mean? And, you know, we just started talking and we were sending messages back and forth, exchange numbers. You know, and, you know, from Christmas on, you haven't used your bell yet? Oh, there you go. Oh, a tribute to Kino Casino, by the way. Yeah, one thing I noticed was the change she went through. Like, I didn't know you could change that fast. Yeah, if you look at all those photos, you go back to that video, the compilation video, and you see what she looks like. She is a hot, smoking girl. Very, I mean, in her way. I mean, yeah, I didn't care about she had a little bit of an acne issue, but I'm one of them guys, I don't see that. You know, I thought she was a very soft, gentle, caring, you know, romantic woman. And then all of a sudden turned into this fucking monster. You know what I mean? I mean, she had her little sexy, you know, she had, you know, we took photos out on my patio. We took well, she sent me photos of herself. You know, we had a couple photos together. You know, we both got like these motorcycle outfits and, you know, leather pants, leather shirt. She looked really good. Oh, man. You know what I mean? And I thought everything was going fine. I thought everything was going fine. And just out of nowhere, I got fucking blindsided. I got blindsided. And every time I look at her pathetic little YouTube short channel that she's got, it's all YouTube shorts except for this one video where she gained. You could see like she gained. If you've been looking at my community page, you look at what she looks like in them photos and those memes that I made, and you look at the photos when she was with me. This guy has fucked her up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. He's a non-union fucking jackass. I saw photos of him with a safety vest and a fucking helmet, and he's there like, literally, do I really have to take a screen capture of his little bullshit YouTube thing? And everything's God, God, God. She never really talked about God in my presence, even though, like, you know, I got a Bible, got the cross, the Mjolnir. You know, my dad's got, I have a crucifix from my grandmother when she was alive with her writing on it. You know, she never really got into the whole religious thing. All of a sudden with this guy, everything is God, God, God. She's kissing his ass because she needs a fucking sugar daddy. That's the only thing I can really come up with. Every day that's gone by, and with every woman that I've spoken to, whether I know as an acquaintance or a friend, everyone's saying it. She's looking for a sugar daddy. Yeah, you guys look like a hot couple in those pictures together. No idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no. I cannot accept the logic that she used, that apparently we didn't take enough nature walks, we didn't go out enough. You know, it's nothing but fucking excuses and lies and bullshit. And now she's doing all these things with, she's got texts. I forget what the name of the app is that she uses on it, because she had, if I remember, an iPhone, and there's a particular app that she uses to make her videos. And every single one of them, God this, God that, God this. She never fucking mentioned anything about religion until she met this guy. And now she looks like a fucking old woman. I noticed you got a type. Yeah, I do. I always have. It's a symptom of me growing up in New York. I love Hispanic women. I always did, and probably always will. I've only been with one white woman and two black women. But I've always had a thing for Hispanic women. Always have and always will. There's just something about them that opposites attract. You know what I mean? There was always something about Hispanic women I loved, because they take care of themselves in a different way. But in their culture, everything revolves around the fucking woman. Everything, the music, the fucking TV shows, everything is the woman, the woman, the woman. And men get down on their fucking knees and kiss their ass. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. In American society, men get treated like shit so much that it doesn't even bother to be in a relationship anymore. Somebody's looking to get nuked. You know what? I'm not wasting my time. Have yourself a good Friday night. Eat shit. Goodbye. So with all that being said, wow, that was the first one I actually blocked tonight. Doing pretty good so far, right, folks? But yeah, I've always had a thing for Hispanic women. There's just something about them. The way they fix up their hair, their perfume. You know, the really good ones really care about their looks, man. And I love that femininity. But I don't know what fucking happened with this one. I don't know. When I saw this stupid little YouTube channel, I'm telling you, she looks like one of those old 60-year-old women that you see going to the fucking Sunday church ceremonies with the big MC Hammer pants and a turtleneck. Like, what the fuck? She never looked like that. And she's howling at the fucking ceiling. And I could tell that was her apartment right here on South Boulevard. And she's there. And her face looks fat and greasy and oily. She never looked like that when she was with me. She never mentioned the church or God around me. It's because of him. She's kissing his ass. She's simping for him. And, you know, if he's got money, because the things that I've been seeing, she had videos of a fucking piñata party with them smashing Spider-Man piñatas in Freedom Park over here. She's had AI videos of hers that I think YouTube took down or she took down, are the same fucking photos she sent to me, which I still have. I should really delete those photos and get rid of them. I still have some of her clothes here. I didn't have the heart to throw them out because I feel throwing clothes out is a sin. Wouldn't sweat it. You're going to find another one. I hope so. We'll see what happens. You know, right now I'm in no rush. I'm in my zone right now. Summer's around the corner. You know, I'm really praying to God after this incident took place that things are going to be nice and quiet and relaxed and laid back. I just don't want to bother with drama or nonsense or any of that kind of stuff. You know, it's just not fucking right. It's really not right what she did. Shame on her. God will fix her wagon one day, I promise. But I just don't understand what changed her. We went to the fucking mountains. We're sitting on my patio. You see us at Christmas time outside. She's sitting on my lap on my patio. You know, like I said, we had like these motorcycle leather outfits. She's got the one photo of her turning around in the skin tight leather outfit. She looks so fucking hot, man, in her own way. You know what I mean? She had her little sexy about her. You know, she'd eat my food right down to the fucking plate. You know what I mean? Am I cooking? Oh, I don't know, man. It's not right. It doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. Oof, yikes, I don't know if you heard that. It doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. Where are we at here? Almost 11:30. Another quick shameless eBay beg here. Another shameless eBeg. Another shameless plug. If you're new to the channel, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I really appreciate all of you tonight hanging out with me and celebrating my 49th birthday. This is typically a hobbyist channel talking about hats, jerseys, sneakers, Transformers, toys, baseball cards, various other hobby topics and whatnot. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm going unplugged in this live stream. So it is what it is. Thank you very much for the happy birthday wish. Much appreciated. Folks, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. If you haven't hit the thumbs up by now, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. 4 of you have already. So thank you for that. If you want to help to support the channel financially, I'm still not monetized. I had to reapply for AdSense again. But anyway, if you want to help to support the channel financially, click on my eBay stores link, the Carolina Collector 001. I did make a sale in real time in the beginning of this live stream. There's an example of it right there. I'll probably get that out to the customer tomorrow. I did make 4 sales today, which is awesome. So if you want to help to support the channel financially that way, you can do that through my eBay store, or you can click on the Ko-fi link or the coffee link or whatever you call it. Make a small one-time donation to the channel. As a matter of fact, one of my regular viewers is in here right now with some of that donated money that went to the channel, plus my own personal money. I got all of this for the neighborhood kids. There's a whole big bag of it of Sour Patch Kids for the kids here in the neighborhood. Plus there's a box of Doritos here, kid-sized Dorito bags for the kids. So the money goes to good use. It doesn't just go to me buying stuff. I do try to give back when I can. So, by the way, why can't you super chat here? It's because the channel's not monetized. The channel's not monetized. As a matter of fact, I got an email recently that my AdSense account got deactivated. That goes to show how long I've been trying to get this channel monetized. So I reapplied for AdSense and it's in review again. I don't get it. Because right now this could be disposable income. I won't make a ton of money from my videos, but hey, man, if I make a fucking dollar, that's a dollar I didn't have in my pocket when I woke up this morning. You know what I mean? I could put that dollar on my laundry card. So, and I got well over 1,000 subscribers. I got well over 4,000 views. So I don't know what the problem is with YouTube. I don't know if I want to do this. It's actually starting to get a little warm in here. The beer's getting to me. Let me turn on the fan because it's getting a little humid in here for me. It's actually cool in here tonight. All right, these are two fresh unopened beers here. But yeah, when it comes to the donation link in the eBay store, I do tend to take care of the kids around here. You know what I mean? You remind me of a whiskey guy. Yeah, I stay away from booze whenever I can. It's a very rare situation. Obviously, with my ex cheating on me, I've hit the Fireball, but I don't drink it straight. I'll mix it with like soda or juice or something like that. I don't really like whiskey. I'm not much of a booze guy anymore. If I do drink booze, I get cordial stuff. Like I'm a big fan of German schnapps. I like Schonauer or Berensen. Something that's easy and light. I don't like booze. I'll have a couple beers. Obviously with the things that happened last year, my dad dying, and now what happened with this girl, I got pretty bummed out. But now, I know my limits. Like I can, like even today, we wrapped it up a little early today. I probably only drank maybe like 3, 4 of these, and she had, I bought her, her Bud Light like she likes, but those Millers are smooth in the aluminum. Yeah, these things with the screw tops, they're awesome, man. I'd rather get the screw tops because let's just say if I was sitting, with her, or sometimes I sip out myself outside, which I haven't done in a while. It's just now the weather's hot and now the mosquitoes are out and bugs are out. I don't want to get bit up. But, if I don't feel like drinking no more, I just put the screw top back on there and that's pretty much it. Miller Lite fan. Yeah, I love Miller Lite. That's my beer of choice. I used to drink a lot, and I mean a lot, of fucking Vorsteiner beer. I used to drink a lot of Yingling. I used to drink a lot of Yingling. But Miller Lite is kind of like my zone. But now that the summertime is coming, I'm going to start gradually going back to, having a couple Coronas here and there, maybe some White Claws here and there. But yeah, Miller Lite's my beer of choice. It's really my beer of choice. And especially with these bottles, if I don't feel like drinking anymore, I just put the top back on, put it in my fridge, and finish it off the next day. I think the next woman, you need to get her on a few streams so we can all help you decide if she's good for you. There are people that do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't get into because certain things have to be close to the chest. Here, like, for example, my father's birthday is technically April 18th, right? I had a discussion with my mom because of what these fucking bastards did by stealing photos, and I firmly believe it was from her Facebook account to resurrect my dead father in his hospice bed, attacking me. You know what I mean? She's asked me not to make any more videos with his image in it. Like if I were to post a photo or something like that, even that, I'm going to have to put a watermark in it somewhere just in case, because if I see it being shared, I can always flag it down for privacy and or copyright at this point. But yeah, I don't know if I would want to get anybody outside unless I got their specific permission, to have them on camera, because there are times I do have, like my YouTube short today, I didn't want to show my friend's face to respect her privacy and the privacy of her home. That's why I pointed the camera downward. So you saw the candies and the potato chips and stuff. But I really don't know if I want to bring outside people onto the channel because that can get a little hairy, And I do my best to respect people's privacy. So, yeah, listen, I don't give a shit. You know, like I said, they learned their lesson recently. I had I think 14 or 15 reports that I filed myself through copyright and privacy and cyberbullying and harassment, and had multiple videos and posts about them attacking me without context or rhyme or reason. I don't think it's funny attacking my father. The last lot, well, I am shooting to go up to New York soon. I talked about it with my mom because they're all going up to visit my dad's grave tomorrow, because tomorrow is his birthday. So they're all going to Valhalla, New York, to pay their respects for him. I wish I was up there with them. But if I start talking to my friends that I still got contacts with recently, I got in contact with a few people. And if I take my military police officer brother-in-law and his boys, and we go knock on these fuckers' doors, you know, like the downstairs dentist who is so fucking mad that he can't get a woman that he blames me for his failures because he's an ugly, skeezy, scummy, you know. Well, I'm not going to get into this. Let me just stop myself there. Because, you know, they're probably looking for this kind of shit. So let me just stop myself. I don't want to ruin my birthday, you know? I mean, let's just say, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. That's like the asshole who makes fun of people that pulls out guns in New York like politicians. And now apparently the Masonic lodges up there are committing fraud and all that kind of stuff. And you can show off your imported German motorcycles and cars and have yacht clubs, go to yacht clubs and skeet shooting and backyard parties and go to 3 or 4 Masonic meetings a night, throwing around all this fucking money. And then meanwhile, you send your wife to go beg for medical benefits and I'm the bad guy? Get the fuck out of here. Fucking fraud. Who's the real fraud here? I'm glad the Masonic lodges are falling apart up there. Good. Fuck them. See, this is what you call doing something for someone. Literal, physical, tangible stuff. I don't need a Star Wars outfit or a fucking costume or a tuxedo with an apron to do nice things for people and then pat myself on the back for doing it. You know what I mean? Bullshit. Physically doing things, in my opinion. Not one of these fuckers I've ever seen take off their jacket and give it to a homeless guy. I have. My buddy Wolf, he never had good sneakers. You know, that girl that I was with last year, I actually gave my buddy Wolf those fucking sneakers right off my feet. And he was telling me, man, Walter, I never had sneakers like this, because he grew up in an Indian reservation. So he didn't have access to this kind of stuff. And he didn't have a lot of money anyway, to begin with. But I would look cool like a Jedi. I mean, I could probably do Obi-Wan Kenobi. I kind of have the facial features for it, but, you know, I just couldn't do a good English accent. But, you know, modern day Star Wars is bullshit anyway. I've grown out of fucking Star Wars, and even Star Trek these days has gotten, unless I watch the older stuff, You know what I do like? There's a YouTube channel that I can't remember the name of it. I would have to look for it. I really recommend you guys watch this channel. They've been doing these, I think, what's his name? Oh, fuck. He's one of the most popular Star Wars content creators here on YouTube. There's a YouTube content creator that does like AI videos. And I think he does it based off of comic books to fill in the gaps. And there's no politics, no pronouns, no bullshit. And the video quality that this man does, especially with his most recent videos, are amazing. There's another channel, I think it's called Momentum, something does AI videos. He just uploaded a video with Pinhead versus Darth Vader. There's a part 2 of that video coming out. He released a teaser video. Great content creator. What do you collect? Well, by the way, this is a new name, Bionicle King Grimlock. I happen to have Studio Series Grimlock sitting on my shelf, by the way. So, jerseys, sports jerseys, hats, sneakers, baseball cards, which I am liquidating my collection because the sports card hobby is a mess. If you're into Pokemon, you'll know what I'm talking about. you know, I got Studio Series sound waves sitting up right here. This is one of the best sound waves ever. Gotta love sound wave. This sound wave, I got the Netflix sound wave sitting up there, but this dude, and I got the 40th anniversary G1 reissue with the cartoon correct colors. This sound wave is the freaking man. Let me tell you. I just got Studio Series Thundercracker. I got the email from Hasbro Pulse that they're going to be shipping out Power Glide, so that's on its way soon. So there'll be a review of that. You got to have Studio Series Prime. Mine's upgraded with gap fillers. I did fix the issues with the feet. So, oops. Comic Edition Grimlock is sick. You know what I'm trying to get my hands on? If you want to get into some Transformers talk. Now, I got a bunch of Optimus Primes. I tell you what, let me take the camera off of the stand here. That's my collector's shelf, right? And I have a few Optimus Primes that are G1s. I got Missing Link, CO1 and CO2 up there. I am eyeballing a G2 Optimus Prime. I'm talking about with the black trailer. I've always wanted one of them, but I've kind of passed it up because now, you know, I have the New Year Convoy 2002 up there. I have the 40th anniversary Optimus Prime. I got Missing Link CO1 and CO2 up there. I have Earthrise Prime here, and I got Studio Series Prime here. I want to get a G2 Optimus Prime. If I can find a G2 Prime, there are 3 of them right now on eBay. Wheeljack's Lab has one, and there are 2 random eBayers that also have them in their box. I'm just not sure if I'm ready to pull the trigger on it yet. The prices are not that bad. They used to be like $400 to $500 a piece. Now, because there's so many Optimus Primes out there, especially you can get bootlegs now. I have a KO Megatron up there in its box. I don't know if you guys, I actually reviewed it on a channel here a while back. That's not an official Megatron up on top. That's a KO that came in 2 separate boxes. I do have Goodbye Megatron right there, if you can see it. And then I got the 16 Special Megatron. I got Studio Series Tankatron up there. Do I collect Masterpiece? No, I do not. But there are a few third-party Transformers I do have. I don't have many. I do have... oh, what the hell do they call him? Oh, shit. I actually kit bashed 2 of them together. Oh, damn. What the hell do they call him in Japan? Oh, I'm an idiot. I might as well show it on camera. Hegemon. Boom, just got it. I'm thinking Pokemon. Hegemon. So they came out with 2 different versions of Hegemon. And I actually took both of my Hegemons, right? Because I had version 1 and version 2. Version 1 had the stock and barrel. Version 2 didn't have that, so I kit bashed the 2 of them together. And now I got my mostly accurate Hegemon sitting up there. I do have a couple knockoffs. I have a couple of Transformers Prime. I actually have Transformers Prime Optimus up there. Transformers Prime Megatron. I love upgrade kits. I haven't bought an upgrade kit in a while for my Transformers. They actually have, I know they have gap fillers and upgrade kits for Soundwave here. I actually got an upgrade kit for good old Prime here. That's the Aki or Achai Studios, whatever you call them. That's the new head, which is much more accurate. And, well, of course, for the safety issues, you know, his antenna were way too thick. I didn't like that. But, you know, he's got his gap fillers and all that sort of thing. You know, I flip the feet around. What? Oh, this is definitely a troll here trying to get me to laugh. Okay. Smoke signals? Oh, Jesus. What's your favorite Transformers continuity? Well, obviously, G1. I'm a G1er at heart. Always have been. I mean, you know, I'm 49 years old today. So I grew up in the 80s with all this stuff, right? I like Transformers Prime as well. Transformers Prime, I think, got Transformers right. Even though it's a little silly here and there, I think they did it correctly. So I do tend to watch Transformers Prime over and over again. I do watch Beast Wars. I got some Beast Wars stuff up there. Let me see. Yeah, I got Silverbolt. I got Lio Convoy, which I reviewed on the channel. Um, excuse me. I don't like Armada and any of them. I don't like the Unicron trilogy. I never did. I think it's kind of like, it's not for me. I mean, each to their own. Hey, man, if you're a fan of something, have at it. But I'm not. Oh man, you know what that is? That's the Slim Jims I ate before I could taste it. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Unicron trilogy, even though I have watched them. But I do like Beast Wars, and every so often I like small doses of Beast Machines, even though it's a little weird and strange. But definitely G1 is the way to go. Definitely G1 is the way to go. And Prime rules. I can't stand I cannot stand the Bayverse Transformers. I hate it. I don't like it. It's a bunch of shit. It looks like a bunch of nails and screws in a blender. I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, the designs are choice. Yeah, I agree. Oh my God. I think the only good one out of there is it's not even thrust, it's one of the motorcycle drones. Otherwise, maybe Rat Trap. I mean, yeah, Transformers Prime was like a mess. Not Transformers Prime. I'm sorry, Beast Machines. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. But yeah, Beast Machines was just the toy line was a disaster. Especially like you look at the little Megatron with the cape that wraps around. It was like a little version of the Transmetals 2 Megatron, which I have the War for Cybertron Megatron. It's one of my favorite Transformers, as a matter of fact. Let me grab it off my shelf. This is by far one of my more favorite Beast Wars Transformers. And mind you, I used to have an extensive collection of Transformers years ago, but as life would have it, I sold off all my collection. But once they started coming out with these, I had to jump on the opportunity to grab these before the scalpers got them. So here is my Megatron. I love this thing, and this has 2 upgrade kits in it. I should sleep. Norway has lots of birds chirping happily outside. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I live in a very green area myself, so you hear a lot of birds and stuff like that. Yeah, this Megatron is awesome. This literally has 3 upgrade kits added to it. So that's a brand new face with a solid red helmet on it, which is how it should look. So you don't see, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a more screen accurate looking head that I got off of eBay. And then I have the tail extension on there, of course, with the back that actually folds up a lot closer and tighter, and then once you put the tail down, that's pretty much it. I got the, it was about the tail extension. Oh, there are gap fillers in here too. I forgot where the gap fillers are on this one. There were 1 or 2 gap fillers on here. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the pointy finger. Pointy finger, that's part of the upgrade, as a matter of fact. So yeah, this is by far one of my most favorite Megatrons, because when you transform him into his dragon mode, it looks like a genuine like Japanese like statue. It looks like a Japanese statue. It's awesome. Like I used to have the original Beast Wars Megatron like this, the Transmetals 2. But when I saw it, I had to get it. And then when they came out with the upgrade kits, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely upgrading mine. But what really made this upgrade kit work is that new face. That's a more cartoon accurate face right there. So it looks awesome. It looks awesome. I mean, I'm not knocking G1 Megatron, but this Megatron to me is just dope. He's amazing. And what's cool is they put like little Easter eggs in there, for example, like on the original toy from the 90s. I thought that was one of my friends driving through there. On the original Beast Wars toy, it actually had wheels on its legs. These don't spin, but they emulate that, which is kind of neat. But yeah, this thing is awesome, and it's really articulated and just an all-around really good representation of Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Megatron. So I hated the original face. I couldn't stand it. Ah, that's good. Do you remember way back when the original toy commercials for Beast Wars came out in Optimus Primal? It was a bat. Yeah, it actually came in a 2-pack because they technically were supposed to be redesigns of G1 Prime and G1 Megatron. So you had the bat and the alligator, the blue bat and the green alligator. But of course, that didn't work out too well. So then they did, truck not monkey. You know what I mean? And I had quite a few of the original Beast Wars toys. I had some of the Japanese ones. I still, to this day, have my Transmetals Optimus Prime and Megatron, the 2-pack, when they got the first upgrade in the TV show. So they suffer from crumbling plastic and crumbling chrome. I try not to even look at them or touch them. I still got the original box for the two of them. But my Megatron, it's so loose that even with joint cum or crazy glue, I'm afraid to ruin it because it's got that gold plastic. And anybody that's a Transformers fan knows you fuck with gold plastic, you're done. You fuck with chrome, you're done. It's going to break and crack and crumble and turn to dust. So let me put this back up on the shelf here. I think I want to say my next favorite. Come on, get up there. Oh, he's going to fall, isn't he? You know what it is? I'm running out of room on my collector's shelf here. Get up there. There we go. Okay. I might as well pull this guy because he's easily accessible. And then I'm going to pull this dude out of here. Because this is another one that took multiple upgrade kits to get him to look like this. So this is we'll start with him first. So this is my Hegemon. Touch them and they'll disintegrate. Yeah, like Starscream. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't even look at them. So this is my Hegemon kit bash that I did. I was able to get a custom sticker sheet made for this to make him look a little bit more G1. Though I think his shins should be silver. I kind of like them in black, like this. I'd rather it be as close to the original toy as possible. Now, if anybody's ever messed around with one of these Hegemons, they are awful. It's awful. I mean, it looks good, but it's got so many issues with it. I don't mess with this thing at all. I transformed him maybe 2 times, 3 times, because he's a bit temperamental. But this was the best at the time Megatron that we had. And he does turn into a gun. A really ugly looking, inaccurate gun, but a gun nonetheless, which is cool. And then we have the man of the hour himself, Galvatron. Now, this is the first version of Galvatron. No, I'm sorry. This was the second release of Galvatron. The first one, of course, had the messed up arms. This is the second release where the arms were corrected, so I didn't have to do any of that swapping or anything like that. But I did add 2 upgrade kits to this guy. There's gap fillers, shin extensions, feet extensions. And yeah, I'm purple Galvatron all the way. I'm sorry. I got him a new face. He's got the taller spire, which is more accurate to the cartoon. He's got the grabby hands, which is awesome. I put the Decepticon symbol on there because I don't like it when they tamper-graph the Decepticon symbol on dark surfaces. Like Cyclonus, I have Cyclonus up there too, and he suffers with that. You can't see the symbol. So I put this one on there so it stands out a little bit more. It looks good. But again, this Galvatron, he's got the grabby hands that I swapped out. He's got the gap fillers right there on his forearms. You can tell it's a gap filler because the colors are different. That usually happens. They never get the color match right. But it looks good. I mean, it's a little wonky because his shins look ridiculously long. when he stands like that. But then when you bend his legs, actually, if you're looking at geometry and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't look all that bad at all. It actually kind of works because he doesn't look stumpy, you know. But yeah, he's got new feet. Also, I added new feet to him. But yeah, I'm purple Galvatron all the way. I know they released the Studio Series, which is just a redeco of this guy, but I'm like, I already went in deep getting this guy to look like this. Why am I going to get a second Galvatron? Doesn't make sense. So, but again, you got the bigger spire on there, which is cool. So that was a pain in the butt to get on there, by the way. But I love my Galvatron. I love that thing. Oh man, do we really have to go into this territory? I am Team Blue Rumble. I always will be. That's what I grew up with. I stick by it. I understand the whole debate behind it. I know why it started. You know, obviously the original cassettes had Frenzy being blue and Rumble being red. But in a cartoon, they swapped it up and switched it up. But I am Team Blue Rumble, Red Frenzy. End of discussion. So, end of discussion. I'll be right back. Let me put this back on the shelf. I'm going to pull a couple of these out at random just to show off here. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me for this birthday live stream. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. I am nerding the fuck out right now. So let me pull the here. I'll pull the Transmetals Megatron off of here. I'll show you what he looks like. I am so terrified to mess with this thing. Here he is. That's the Japanese version of Transmetal Megatron. Man, it's so scary to handle him because this plastic will break if you're not careful. Like, I forgot where it was that really, really got loose. It's actually, I think it's his shoulder pieces when he transforms into. Thank you. I appreciate the birthday wish, by the way. Yeah, you could see right there where there's some issues going on the inside of his arm. I don't even want to mess with that because when I see plastic looking like that, that's usually not a good sign. But the chrome on here, it just looks so beautiful. I wish they would go back and redo some of these for the modern era. This is one of them because as surprisingly accurate as the Transmetals toys were for Beast Wars, you know, it had its issues. Like I wish you could turn the hands up for the Dino mode so they point out that way, like in a cartoon. Like when he gets into the Ark, you know, his turrets here turn around so that he floats above Soundwave and shoots Optimus Prime in the face. But not bad. Very accurate for the time. And transforms almost exactly the same way, like in a cartoon or the TV show. But, yeah, that's the original Japanese Megatron. You can see it says Destron right there on his shoulder. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's indicative that this is the Japanese one. I am going to put him back on the shelf because I don't want him to break. Because he will break. These are notorious for breaking. Let's see. What else can I show off? Well, we just talked about it. I knew that was going to happen. Shit. Is this? No, that's not the Studio Series. Okay, so I'm not worried. This is the regular War for Cybertron release. Never mind. I got scared for nothing. So I'll take down these two. I'm going to take down these two. And then I'm going to take down these two because I want to make a point. Now, I do have a whole bunch of Ravages up there, but just because these are easier to grab. Do I have any interest in Japanese Star Saber? I have all of the Japanese series on my computer. I would have loved to have gotten Deathsaurus when Hasbro Pulse released it, but and Star Saber and Victory Leo and all that kind of stuff, man. Or Victory Saber, I forgot which is which. It's been a while since I watched that series, but I do have the cartoons on my computer. The Headmasters, Target Master, the Breast Force, all that kind of stuff, man. It's all on my computer. But since I obviously growing up G1, I'm more partial to the old school stuff. But when it comes to the big characters, I really, really would like to get a Deathsaurus, man. That thing looks evil. And I would love to get me a Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. I would love to get a Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. I used to have Megastorm, which is the G2 version of Megatron that we got here in the States. I love to get my hands on one of them, but I'm like, I don't know, because that thing takes up a lot of real estate. It's like my Studio Series Ultra Magnus that's up there. Oh, and by the way, I'm still waiting for my Missing Link Ultra Magnus. It did ship, so that could be here any day. I got to look at the shipping or the tracking number for that. But I want you to see how far we come here, folks. Now, these two are knockoffs. This is Rumble and Frenzy. Rumble Frenzy. Okay, these are knockoffs, but pretty damn good looking knockoffs. The only thing I didn't like was the original stickers that were on here. I peeled them off and replaced them with these. But we went from this to this. Now, these are War for Cybertron Rumble and Frenzy with upgrade kits. So these have been upgraded. We got to this point, and then we have this Studio Series Rumble and Frenzy, which I think they're reissuing soon, if I'm not mistaken. I saw a little bit of chatter about that. So there you go. Look at how far we've come. So the only thing I don't like about these are the hollow legs, but I understand why they're hollow because of the transformation. But, you know, you can't get everything you want with these toys. So let me put these back up on the shelf quickly. I shall return, folks. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Shameless e-bag here quickly for anybody that's new to the channel. If you like what you see, you enjoy the content and all that kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button. And if you want to help to support the channel, you can do that by one of two ways. Check out my eBay store or make a small one-time donation to my coffee link or to my coffee page. The link is in the description box below. Let me go put these on the shelf. Maybe I'll pull down a couple more Transformers for you guys and gals out there. Let me see. I want to put these up in such a way that they don't fall, because with some of these, the center of gravity is so bad, and I got fat fingers, and I already got like 2.5 beers in me. Which one? Oh, okay, this one goes here next. Just trying to put these up where I know they're not going to fall. Some of the center of gravity on these toys could be a real mess. Oop, nope, that's not going to happen. I've got Waspinator and I have Tarantulas up here. But because of the arms of Rumble and Frenzy of all three of these, you kind of have to make it work without knocking everything down. The day in the life of a Transformers fan. Now this is interesting because we never got this as a kid or back in the 80s. And I raved about this thing because I think this is one of the best Transformers toys they've come out with in a long time. And that's RC, Missing Link RC. And I went with the pink one because it's cartoon accurate. But, you know, it's not inappropriate or weird or anything like that. But this most recent release that they came out with it's just amazing. I mean, you know, they did make some compromises in the engineering and all that kind of stuff. But for what it is, you you know, especially if you want to get her to hold her gun, with the nature of the transformation, you kind of have like this issue here with her bicep and forearm. So you kind of have to like do this sort of thing. I mean, when she's got her weapon at her side, her arm goes straight down. But if you want to try to point it or anything like that, you kind of have to kick her arm out a little bit. But still, it's an amazing, amazing toy. I mean, the way they did this for a toy that was supposed to come out in the 80s, I mean, I give Takara a lot of credit. And again, she doesn't look weird or inappropriate or anything like that. You know, very good toy. Very good collectible. Let me see here. There are one or two of these that I question the logic here. For example, here, let me take these two down. I don't know why Hasbro decided to do this, given that the way the engineering is these days. I think they overthought this a little bit, and I criticized the two of these. And that is Studio Series Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. I don't know why they made this decision here to cock his head up like that. Ha ha ha. See what I did there? Chickens, birds, cock, ha. But I don't know why they did that. Why they made the limitations on the articulation so bad like that. Because when I pull out my Studio Series Soundwave here, the Laserbeak, that's my Laserbeak of choice, is the Netflix Laserbeak. Because everything's already built into the transformation. I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. It should be very simple. You can do that. You pull his wings out like so. If I remember, there was a pain in the butt. It was his head that I would always have a hard time getting out, and I still do because of my fat fingers. But that's why I have tweezers. You grab his bird head and you pull him out, and then you flip his weapon out like so, and you got, in my opinion, one of the best laser beaks out there, because everything is built into him. There's no parts forming, none of that stuff. And he's been sitting in the chest of my Soundwave. And what's cool that I discovered about this Laserbeak when I did that live review on my channel when I first got this guy is he's got like this port that you can pull out, which is right there underneath his chest. And then you could take Studio Series Soundwave and manipulate his arm, if I remember how to do this now, in such a way. You take Soundwave's hand, turn it like that. You have to kind of flip his arm upside down like that. And then you could take your Laserbeak, even though he's really not meant for this Soundwave, and kind of like, oops. You have to fold up Laserbeak's legs, by the way, to get this to work. Oops. Me and my fat sausage fingers. Come on. There we go. Okay. So you kind of have to... And if you got fat fingers like me, please make sure you got tweezers around when you mess around with your Transformers. So you can literally take the Netflix Laserbeak, if you manipulate Soundwave properly, and if you turn his arm around, you can get him to do that. So if you got him up on a shelf, there you go. You got a proper Laserbeak for your Soundwave, which I think is kind of neat. Which is why, you know, when I look at this and then I look at this, I'm like, why did they do this when you could just improve upon this? I mean, I like the fact that, you know, this Laserbeak has those Decepticon symbols on there. They could have did that with this. So, I don't know. The day in the life of a Transformers collector, right, folks? What time is it? Oh, shit. Whoa, I've been on here for almost 2 hours already. Damn. Time goes by quick. Holy cow. Thank you for sticking around with me, folks. Modern Hasbro in a strange place where it's like 70% of improvements in 30. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm with you 100% with that sentiment. A lot of the decision making that they have, it just doesn't make sense. As a matter of fact, I saw people talking about this. I think I even mentioned it too with Soundwave here, that they tried to keep the detail as an Easter egg to the original toy with the on-off switch and the volume control. But the simple fact of the matter is that this stuff here is useless. When you put them into the cassette player mode, you don't even see this. This folds up and in, and you don't see that. So why add that? I get why they did that. That was to kiss our asses as G1ers, you know? But it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And I know Soundwave has an upgrade kit that's out there, as a matter of fact. I know there's gap fillers and stuff, but I like him the way he is. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way and break my ass just to get an upgrade kit for him. But this is a great Soundwave. He's definitely the best Soundwave out there right now, as far as I'm concerned. So I'll put Soundwave right back on my desk. And then, of course, we have the most controversial of them all. I think you know what I'm getting at here, folks. I'm going to take down 3 versions of this guy. You guys probably saw that already, so a little spoiler alert. See, I'm even afraid to touch this Megatron because this thing's a couple of years old, too. This is a Megatron you don't play games with. Oh, shit, the sticker moved. There's no adhesive. Look at this. So apparently my 16 Special Megatron is going to have to get a sticker upgrade. Do I have double-sided? Maybe I can do this with double-sided tape. See, this is one of the unfortunate things about collecting G1 Transformers, is that over time some of these stickers lose their adhesive nature, and I don't want to put crazy glue or anything like that. I should just order a Toy Hacks sheet. I mean, it did go back on for now, thank God, but that's the first time I noticed it. This is my 16 Special Megatron, the G1 reissues. So that's my 16 Special Megatron right there, when, you know, kids can actually play with toy guns, and I still think they should, in my opinion. You know, because, of course, the fucking gun nuts, who pronoun left-wing gun nut activist morons want to blame the gun, but they don't want to blame the psychopath who's doing the shooting. Here's Tankatron. And I know they got a few upgrade kits for him as well, but I'm not going to, you know, go out of my way to upgrade him. I think they have a new ion cannon for him that you can get and all this crazy stuff, but I'm not gonna bother. But I mean, he looks good. I mean, he's grown on me. I just will never transform him. I did it once for the review of this channel. I'll never, ever, ever transform him. And of course, we got New Age Romulus, which this thing is so technical in its own right that I'm afraid that I'm going to break him if I transform him. And I had to do it off camera on the channel when I reviewed him. I mean, he's got a few little issues here and there, but I tell you what, he's one of the best miniature masterpiece toys you can get of him, in my opinion. I just wish he was a little bit bigger because, well, he was meant to size up with Earthrise Prime. And I have Studio Series Prime here, and you can tell the difference right away just by me holding them up. I mean, I'm kind of just guessing here, but Meg's is a little shorter. But that wasn't their intent. So, But yeah, I love G1 Megs. I really do. G1 Megs is awesome. And it's such a simple transformation. Let me put these guys back up on the shelf and I'll bring down another good Megatron for you guys and gals to look at. I'm so afraid because these G1 Megatrons have a tendency, if you don't spread their legs, the center of gravity will just make it fall. Fall! 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 Get Tankatron back up here. And then I'll take down this Megatron. And this Megatron is awesome. So this came with a 2-pack that I got a while back. You should look into Planet X third party. Yeah, definitely. I'm always watching videos of third party Transformers here on YouTube because some of them do catch my attention, but I'm just like, with the way they, especially now with the new More Than Meets the Eye series they've been coming out with and the dramatic capture stuff. I mean, unless you really want to have a huge display, which I don't have the room for, unfortunately. I mean, I'm fine with these Voyager series or Voyager class or whatever it may be. But here's my goodbye Megatron, which was I believe, Chinese. Was this a China exclusive or Japanese exclusive? It came in a 2-pack. I think it was a Japanese exclusive. They never released here in the States. It's got the, it came with the Bayverse Megatron and came with this guy. So that's Megatron. At least this guy you could touch. You know what I mean? It's not like that other Megatron. Man, I'm going to have to get a Toy Hack brand new label sheet for him. Because them stickers look like they're drying up. Man, when I saw that one sticker peel off of there, I'm like, oh no. Oh, take your money and run. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, take your money and run. Don't you dare. Don't you dare fall. Come on. This is why I rarely mess with my shelf, because you touch one thing, it'll cause a cascade of Megatrons and Transformers to fall all over the place. All right, there we go. Well, since this one's out in the open, I guess I can grab this big guy. This is another great Megatron, too. I do have the official release from Hasbro, but the oversized KO just rules. I mean, the plastic leaves a lot to be desired, but I don't remember. Was this X-Transbots that released this? So that's the oversized Transformers Prime Megatron. This thing is fucking awesome. And they just redid one of these recently in the in like a silver scheme or a chrome scheme. I kind of prefer this because, again, you can at least handle this guy. But this Megatron is just awesome. He is just awesome. And he's straight out of the cartoon, with the exception of the back kibble, which he really doesn't have any kibble. I mean, his back doesn't look like that in the TV show, obviously. They did their best with the engineering. But still, that's kind of impressive. He looks just like his animation model. And, of course, you had to put the... I had to put the Decepticon symbol on there, but look at that grill. So, oh, it'll be a miracle, Starscream, if you survive what I have planned for you. Jesus. Oh, man, great Megatron. It really is. I mean, again, the plastic on this thing is kind of like, eh. You know, you move one thing, everything wants to pop out because he essentially folds up on himself. So... And for the sake of your screen name, I'm going to pull out my Studio Series Grimlock if I can wiggle him out of there. Oh, take the money and run. Why do I have that song in the back of my head? All right, we'll get Megs in there. Now I have to try to dig out Grimlock. Me, Grimlock, stuck in back of collector shelf. Me, king. Now I gotta watch because Lyle Convoy is right here. And I used to have the original Lyle Convoy. This thing actually is awesome. It's a little, I mean, it's smaller than its original counterpart, but that's fine. No, don't fall. Please don't fall. Don't fall. Don't you dare. No. Oh my God, is this thing huge? It's huge, like Owen Wilson would say. It's huge. Or Christopher Walken. Actually, I think Christopher Walken would say that. It's huge. All right, there we go. Oh, man, you move one thing, everything wants to come down. So here's my upgraded Grimlock with 2 upgrade kits. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened with his arm. There's supposed to be like a piece of plastic in his arm. And I think because it took a flop one day, you know, I did a little inspecting and tried to repair it. But there's supposed to be a resistance piece of plastic there that ratchets. Unfortunately, this is the result of, you know, screwing around with this thing. I mean, this one ratchets like it's supposed to. But unfortunately, like I said, there's a piece of plastic that's missing, that broke, that somehow, some way, I'm going to have to try to find a way to fix this, which means pushing the pin out and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to do, but yeah, I would have to push the pin out from here and then somehow glue a piece of plastic on the inside if I can find a matching gray. So, I mean, he still ratchets. It's just that one part, like I said, that broke, unfortunately. But he's got the gray sword. He's got the clear chest. He's got the grabby hands up here that move. I swapped out his arms up there. He's got the gap fillers for the feet. He's got the new teeth when he goes into Tyrannosaurus Rex mode. He's got the new teeth. I didn't change out the neck. I didn't like the clear neck because I know that's more toy accurate. I want them to be cartoon accurate, so I went with that. You got the gap fillers there for his forearms that are installed. But this is the one annoying thing. Like I said, I must have dropped this at some point. But I'm going to have to get in there and somehow pull all of this mechanism apart and glue a piece of plastic in there so that that can ratchet again. I'm sorry, I screwed up here. This is the gap filler. I said it was on the inside of the forearm. I got to correct myself. That's wrong. The gap filler is on the outside of the arm. I'm sorry, guys. My fault. My bad. Correction. But he's still a great Grimlock, and I think they're supposed to be reissuing him as well. But since I got him, doesn't really pay. I mean, even though his arm is kind of doing wiggly waggly, I could probably push that pin out of there and do something with it. And then I got an upgraded wheelie because the wheelie that came with him was awful. And this came in its own third-party kit. The transformation is pretty simple. I swapped the head and stole the slingshot from the original wheelie, so this one's holding the slingshot like he's supposed to. So, and of course we got an Autobot sticker on there, which did not come with it. So, I'm hoping I can get these back up on the shelf there. That whole thing's going to cause an avalanche. You know when your instincts tell you you shouldn't do something and you do it anyway? All right, so maybe if I swing his arm back. Yep, there goes Black Arachnia. All right, you're gone. Goodbye. Out. Out. Get out. Come on. Jeez, you touch one thing, everything wants to go. All right, so I'm going to put Silverbolt here in front of Ratchet. And then Oh, that's another thing they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be reissuing, I think it's what, a pack of 7 Beast Wars figures? Most of them I have already, but that's the Black Arachnia where I swapped out the legs for the more cartoon accurate legs right there. You can see these are brown, whereas the toy, when it was released originally, had black legs. So, yeah, I love upgrading my stuff. It just brings the characters that much more to life, especially when you put them up on display. But it's just, you know, when you clog up your shelf, like mine is completely clogged up here. Yikes. You move one thing, everything moves. Come on, Wheelie, get up there too. Wheelie's a little floppy, unfortunately. I got my upgraded huffer and rat trap and all that stuff. All right, I'm not digging out no more. Not going to dig out no more. This once, if I keep going with that thing, forget it. Oh shit! I completely forgot. I had this sitting over there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am burnt out. And as you can see, I really haven't been drinking a lot tonight because, you know, I had a little bit of fun earlier. I didn't get sloppy or anything, but I'm kind of like starting to wind down a little bit. But I do want to say thank you to all of you that have participated in this live stream and getting in all the nerd talk and all that sort of stuff. Man, all that dust from moving around them Transformers. I really got to take my shelves apart and dust them. But I do appreciate every single one of you for watching this live stream and spending a little time with me. I really appreciate it. There have been all sorts of crazy conversations going on in this live stream, and it means the world to me. I really deeply appreciate it. Again, thank you to all my YouTube supporters, subscribers, viewers, friends, family, neighbors, donors. You know, again, to Big Mama, who actually is responsible for helping me to pick up this big bag of candy and chips for the kids. So always want to give credit where credit is due. My eBay customers, I mean, just all of you are awesome, guys. Thank you, you know, for spending this birthday with me. There will be more live streams and reviews to come. Like I said, I got the shipping notice that, you know, my Power Glide will be shipping. There's going to be some Transformers stuff coming up. You know, there's obviously going to be some hobby talk. You know, I'm waiting for my Jackson Dart home jersey from Fanatics to come. Hopefully they didn't fuck that up like they did with this one. But I won't get that jersey until sometime in the middle of next month, I think. But there's plenty of stuff to talk about, guys. And with all that being said, I mean, thank you. Thank you, everybody. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. And thank you for helping the channel to grow. And, you know, I really, a lot of you helped me get through a hard time. You all helped me get through a hard time with what this woman did to me and how she cheated on me and everything else. You know, and it's been a big help, you know, when you guys come on here and, you know, we get into all the, you know, the bookworm L7 square, dorky, nerdy, you know, sports talk or toy talk and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's awesome, man. That's what I want this channel to be. That's what I wanted it. That was the original intent of the channel, and I'd like it to stay like that. And that's pretty much it, folks. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm burnt out. I'm done. This was a long day, even though I slept for a little bit. So everybody, God bless you so much. And good to see some of your figures. Enjoy the rest of your birthday, dude. Peace out. Thank you. Also, welcome to the channel. And I'm going to close it out right here, folks, and say thank you, everybody, to all the new viewers, old viewers alike. Thank you. And thank you for helping me to celebrate my birthday tonight. I really appreciate it. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector, signing off.